This is the Buzz Adams Morning Show podcast. Barstool Talk Daily. Except it's really early in the morning and no booze. For the most part.
It's Tuesday.
And now, it's time again for your favorite
show.
This better be good.
Why? Why does it have to be?
Why would they keep tuning in?
Wouldn't tune in.
That wouldn't be a good thing for you.
And why is that?
Why? Why is that?
Because if you don't, you'll miss it.
Miss what? Greatest show ever.
It's the greatest show of all time.
On a Tuesday?
I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Boom! It's showtime!
Get ready.
All right, here we go, everybody.
Here we go.
Now.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show is back.
Here we go.
On 95.5 KLAQ.
All right, thank you so much. Good morning and welcome everybody to the show. Thank you for joining us today. We got a lot on the show for you. We got a lot this week. Carrie King from Slayer is going to be a guest tomorrow on the show.
That is so cool.
So we're looking forward to that. We've got a true crime report coming up in just about an hour. We'll get to True Crime Report for you. And we will have the Florida Man game as part of today's True Crime Report. Woo! Let's get a look at El Paso weather as we start things off. Good morning, Nico, and good morning, Joanna Barba.
Good morning, Buzz.
Good morning, Buzz.
Today's sunny. 93 is going to be the high temperature. We're going to start seeing things warming up here. We got several days in the 90s ahead. Winds are going to be 5 to 10 miles an hour. Actually looks like a really, really nice day to get outside and do something. Tomorrow, a little windier, though. We'll have those winds closer to 15, 20 miles an hour in the afternoon tomorrow. Sunny and 92 for Wednesday's high temperature. Then on Thursday, it's going to cool off by about 10 degrees. 83 is supposed to be the high on Thursday. Mostly sunny. Also, maybe on Thursday, just a little chance of rain. We're going to put it at about a 10, 15% chance of rain in the coverage area of El Paso for Thursday. Then no more rain for the rest of the week or the weekend. But those highs are going to remain in the 90s. Listen to this. Saturday and Sunday, near 100, Joanna. Isn't this just a little early to be flirting with 100 degrees?
It is way too early.
I think this is going to be a pretty hot summer. For Saturday, 97 is going to be the high temperature. And then Sunday and Monday, we see back-to-back 99s, which could cross that triple-digit threshold.
Oof.
Oh, yeah, get ready for it.
Why are you looking at Joanna like it's going to affect her? Or it's going to not affect me at all?
It'll affect me the most.
Yeah, it's going to affect her the most.
No, why? I don't know. I wanted to look at Joanna.
It will also affect you, Nico. Oh, Nico, my love.
The hat? Or is that what you're talking about?
The tag is still on it.
Well, I wanted to try it out before I committed.
Wait. You borrowed a hat?
It still has the tag on it.
I didn't borrow it. I got it.
It does. It has the tag on it. I can tell you got it from like Marshall's or Burlington because it's got like the original tag and then it's got
the Burlington.
Wow,
the
what a
Marshall's
connoisseur of the secondary markets.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Or Ross. It could have been Ross for that matter. El Paso weather brought to you by Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. Set up your tee times online at painteddunes.com. That's painteddunes.com or call the Pro Shop. 915-821-2122. That's 915-821-2122. And coming up on Wednesday, July 3rd, it's the 4th annual Red, White, and Brew fireworks show at Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. On Wednesday the 3rd, they're going to have live music, barbecue fireworks, jumping balloons, vendors, and more. You can get all the information at painteddunes.com. All right, Joanna is going to have our Hollywood Cheesemay in the 7 o'clock hour. Joanna, what do we have coming up in our Hollywood Report today?
Hey, Madam Web is coming to Netflix.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay, I'll be sure not to watch it there either.
I'm just kidding. That's not what I had. For the first time in nearly 20 years, Family Guy won't air the same night as The Simpsons. Can you believe?
I didn't even realize that they were always on together. But yeah,
Always Sunday
It's
night.
animation domination. Come on.
Yeah. It just celebrated its 25th anniversary. Can you believe that?
Have you guys, okay, so Family Guy's been on for 25 years. The Simpsons have been on for something like closer to 35 years.
Yeah.
Over the course of Sunday night, that cartoon block on Fox, have you watched any of the
Bob's
animation? Huh?
Bob's Burgers,
Okay, there you go. Bob's
I
Burgers.
love
Bob's Burgers.
American Dad.
Was that also on Sunday? How about
I think so.
Yes.
Cleveland Show.
Cleveland Show.
How about
American
The Critic?
Dad.
which was a spinoff of The Simpsons?
Oh, we're all bringing up things that were like recent.
The
What-
Critic was
what
20-something years ago. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
The John Lovitz one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's pretty old.
How about Crapopolis, which is on currently?
I
It's
haven't
by
seen
the guys
it. Yeah.
that did Rick and Morty, but not funny.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's just not
about.
it's not
wait,
very funny.
No, are you? I thought that's Solar Opposites.
No, Crapopolis is also by, what's the dude's name? Dan Harmon?
Dan Harmon. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the Greek set in Greece.
Yeah. Something about Bless the Hearts. Did you ever watch that
Bless
one?
the Hearts.
Bless the Hearts was pretty good.
I did watch that.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Oh, the PJs, the claymation.
Futurama? Didn't Futurama come in on a Sunday night slot on Fox?
Probably.
Yeah.
King of the Hill. How are we
of the
forgetting
Hill.
King of the Hill? All right, so we'll find out more
Classics.
about the fall schedule. I don't know if you're going to bring this up, but if you like competition shows and you like the Chippendales, maybe you'll like this. They're going to have a 2-hour special called The Real Full Monty.
Sweet.
And just to fill you in there, The Full Monty is a movie that came out in the 90s about a group of regular guys who decide to become like their own stripping.
Their own
team.
Chippendales.
Yeah. It had Tom Wilkinson in it. It was a pretty good movie. But the 2-hour special called The Real Full Monty features male celebrities taking it all off to raise awareness for prostate, testicular, and colorectal cancer testing and research. I guess
Wow, what a great cause.
after their striptease is over, since they're already stripped down, they could get tested for prostate, testicular, and colorectal cancer. The celebrity strippers are going to be, you ready?
Yeah.
This is who they have so far. Taye Diggs,
Oh.
James Vanderbeek.
Dawson?
If that is a character that James Vanderbeek played, then yes. NFL star Chris Jones. Tyler Posey. I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is either.
Anthony Anderson.
Hey.
Nice.
And Dancing with the Stars judge Bruno Tonioli are going to be the celebrity strippers
Yeah, I'm
on The
watching.
Real Full Monty. That's something you're going to check out.
Yes,
You know, family
definitely.
television. Something to watch with grandma.
Nico, news headlines. What do we have coming up today in the news?
There is more coming out of Rafah, and the Gaza invasion is expanding as well. Also, the UN has changed their forecast for casualties in the area by half. People are criticizing the UN for taking the Gaza Health Ministry's
The
numbers,
Gaza Health Ministry is run by Hamas.
essentially.
Yeah. So those numbers are Hamas numbers. And I was just reading this, that they have, look, instead of 9,000 and something kids being killed, 7,000 and something kids.
Well, I mean, that doesn't sound much better.
It doesn't sound right. It doesn't really make a solid point there. You know, of course, I'm surprised that Hamas didn't inflate the numbers even more.
Right.
But they are saying, and but especially the percentage of women and children killed is not nearly as high as Hamas was putting it. And this is the UN who's
The
coming
UN
out with these new
is revising
figures.
their numbers.
Okay.
Also, Michael Cohen is going to testify again today in the Donald Trump New York City trial. So we will
Today
wait
ought to
hear.
be interesting because they're going to talk to him. The defense is going to grill him. So these will be Trump's lawyers. And they're going to tell him, you're a convicted perjurer. You lied under oath. You went to jail for lying under oath. And I think what Michael Cohen is going to say, is, all to help your client, Donald Trump.
That's why he hired me, because I was good at that.
Because I was good at that sort of stuff. So they're going to paint him to be a liar and a perjurer, which he definitely is. But the things that he lied and perjured himself about were when he was still on Trump's side. That's the ad we're going to have today. And sound clips coming up here in just a few minutes, too.
The Daily Calendar.
Today, May 14.
Fur babies, unite. It's Bond with Your Dog Day. Good boy. Also International Chihuahua Day and Decency Day, and that sounds decent. It's Online Romance Day, so it's also probably Catfish Day. Ooh, and it's Spinal Cord Injury Day, but don't get any bright ideas. Happy birthday, Star Wars Chief George Lucas, actress Cate Blanchett, Meta's Mark Zuckerberg, and Dan Arbach of the Black Keys. And that's your Daily Calendar.
95.5 KLAQ.
Tickets, warrants, UnderwoodTrialLawyers.com. Decades of experience available to you. Wyatt Underwood, TrialLawyers.com.
Broadcasting from El Paso for El Paso. The Buzz Adams Morning Show on 95.5 KLAQ.
All right, as we get the show underway, I'm going to do today in sound clips here in just a moment. I want to tell you about this week's dining deal, which will go live and be available for you while they last at 10 a.m. on Friday. And what we have to offer is $50 worth of food, a certificate for $50 of food for only $25. And our restaurant that is part of our dining deals this week is Mora Mia at 11250 Montwood Drive. Mora Mia Barrio Kitchen and Drinks, where tradition and new trends collide. And what happens every Friday, we have a different restaurant, and I think 100 of the certificates we have to sell. So you could buy up to two, but $50 value for just $25. And it is Mora Mia on Montwood as your dining deal this week. And checking out our schedule for Loudwire Nights. You can hear that Monday through Friday, 7 to midnight. Tonight's special guest is Serj Tankian of System of a Down.
One of the brothers.
We'll celebrate this huge interview by playing System of a Down every hour. So 7 to midnight, you're going to get at least one song from System. Serj Tankian is going to talk about everything from his new memoir to the future of the band. This interview is going to be a memorable one. So that is Serj Tankian of System of a Down, special guest tonight on Loudwire Nights. You're going to hear some Aerosmith. It's the anniversary of the Aerosmith Rocks album. Happy birthday to the Black Keys, Dan Auerbach. And we'll also play some of The Cult in honor of Ian Astbury's birthday, which is today.
Oh, cool.
Loudwire Night, 7 to midnight, Monday through Friday on 95.5 KLAQ.
And now, today in Sound Clips.
All of the day's news with accompanying sound bites and actualities. So let's start with Michael Cohen. Once the fixer for former President Donald Trump testified yesterday that he had secretly recorded conversations with Trump in 2016, including a conversation about paying money to the National Enquirer for squashing the Stormy Daniels story before the election. There's no recording in the courtroom, but we do have a recording of that because it had come out earlier. So this is purported to be Donald Trump approving the payment for the National Enquirer to kill the Stormy Daniels story.
When it comes time for the financing, which will be... Listen, what financing? We'll have to pay you. So.
All right. After Michael Cohen testified, Donald Trump said again that there was no fraud in the case, that there was not even a crime committed, and that all it's doing is keeping him from campaigning.
There's no fraud here. There's no crime here. This is 4 weeks of keeping me from not campaigning.
You have thoughts?
Just that recording sounded like a mob recording of an informant. Like, what about the what did he say? The payment
for the thing. the thing with the guy.
Thing. Oh, I'll get in cash.
No. Not that guy. The other guy. The other thing. They are destroying the rest of the Key Bridge in Baltimore. That had that, I guess, cargo ship wreck into it. So we're going to hear from Colonel Esty Pinchazin of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers explain that the process used to break away part of the bridge, because they got to tear it down now. There's no, I guess there's no fixing it.
There's no fixing that bridge.
They said taking away parts of the bridge was a precision job.
These are very small linear charges that are placed into cuts that were made, as the governor showed, and they are. It is going to allow for the pressure from those cuts to literally separate the metal and cut through the steel.
All right. Here's the sound of one of those small explosions. U.S. Coast Guard Rear Admiral Shannon Gilreath explained that the crew has been on the boat the entire time and can't leave. I think they're talking about the cargo ship, the Delhi.
Mm-hmm.
They're staying on board because they're part of the ship. They are necessary to keep the ship safe and operational. If something were to happen, they are in the best place to actually fight a fire on board the ship because they're familiar with it. They're familiar with all of their safety equipment.
Imagine not leaving the ship since then. It's been since March.
Oh, my God. They've been there the whole time.
Yeah.
Surely they've got to give them shore leave every now and then.
Yeah, but you got to take like a pontoon boat to shore.
Governor Wes Moore of Maryland said the next step is refloating the cargo ship Dolly and getting it back to port. And when it arrives in port, everybody will wave and say, "Hello, Dolly."
After we have the refloating of the Dolly, at that point is when it's going to be returned back to port, and then they'll be able to both get the cargo, get the other remaining containers off of the ship, and then also at that point is when the members of the Dolly will have a chance to offboard.
I hope
maybe they have had to be on board
the whole time.
Come on,
what kind of entertainment do they have? I hope they have TV at least.
Now it's mostly swabbing the deck.
Raising the massive
yeah.
Vasty.
Swabbing the poop deck from time to time.
No stand-up comedy, that's for sure.
Couple of playoff games last night from the NBA. Here's the final call as the Boston Celtics defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers 109-102.
As Karis LeVert hits a little mid-range J, but it'll be only a footnote as the Boston Celtics come to Cleveland. They have taken command of the series.
And the Celtics lead the Cavs 3-1 in that series. One more, and the Celtics will be moving on. Here is the final call as the Oklahoma City Thunder defeated the Dallas Mavericks 100-96. This one was a little bit closer, and the series is now tied 2-2.
Trying to put the game on ice. He does. Oklahoma City has stunned this crowd. Doncic will launch it three-quarter court, and it's over. The Thunder win the battle in Dallas to tie this series at 2-2.
All right, so tied up even 2-2. Did I tell you that at one of the playoff games last week, I don't know how I'm related to this guy. My niece's brother-in-law. So my niece's husband's brother made a half-court shot and won $20,000 at the Thunder game.
What?
Does that?
Oh, that's cool.
Like, so it's one of those promotions they do at the games where you try and make a half-court shot for money. But this is the brother of your niece's husband?
Yeah. I met him at the wedding. That was about it. But I guess
cool.
I guess he sank it for about for $20,000.
That's awesome.
After taxes get taken away,
you get like $20. That's awesome.
Maybe you get to keep half of it. I don't know, but I didn't know if I told you guys that or not. Let's see. Tell me what you think about this. A brewery in Iowa is in the news after launching a new beer that is going to raise awareness of mental health and raise money for a mental health charity. The new beer is called Brighter Days because if there's one thing that cures depression, we all know
it's alcohol.
It's alcohol, without a doubt. Feeling down in the dumps, alcohol. Can't see the light at the end of the tunnel,
alcohol.
This is Big Grove Brewery in Iowa. Here is Julia Winter, Director of Development at Community Crisis Services, talking about the special edition beer for mental wellness.
So for us, our goal here is really to just raise awareness for the services that are offered for our neighbors. I think it's a great time of year. It's graduation weekend, and this beer is launching on May 10th. And we're just really grateful for the opportunity to get in front of an audience that might not know about community crisis services.
Did you bring that up because you find it ironic that they're talking about community crisis services through a beer?
Yeah, it strikes me as a little bit odd. Beer, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
Hey, what if there's a homeless dude who needs a crisis intervention? He looks at his bottle.
Gives the number to call.
Yeah.
The restaurant chain Denny's would like to thank Flea of the Red Hot Chili Peppers for his endorsement of them on John Mulaney's new show. Joanna, is this one you had picked for entertainment news?
No, it's not. Go for it.
John Mulaney has a new show called Everybody's in L.A., so I watched a couple of these over the weekend.
Were they didn't seem that good.
I think they're intentionally bad. Like, it all seems very done in a very half-assed way, I want to say. It's
bad is bad, whether it's intentional or not. So whether you're trying to give Mulaney a pass, bad is bad.
No, sometimes bad is good. Like Eric Andre is bad in a good way.
But that's not what this is.
No, it's not like Eric Andre. How can I explain?
I'm just saying reviews. What I've been seeing about reviews, people have been bombing it.
Oh, people don't like it?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Flea was the guest, and audience members were sent out to find Flea. And when he appeared on the show, he told everybody where he had been.
I was at Denny's. I'll tell you what LA is. LA is Denny's. Denny's is a magical place. It is a sanctuary in this town. It is a microcosm of LA. It transcends all cultural and ethnic and economic boundaries. It's a beautiful place. You can find everybody in Denny's. I was just there. There are all these beautiful Latino kids just coming from their prom. Well, you could go there at midnight. People bring their babies there at midnight. And you might just go, well, they better take that baby home. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know why that baby's there. They might be locked out of their apartment. I know I'm locked out of mine. What I really want to say is, God bless Denny's.
Nice.
Yeah, so Denny's really happy with what Flea had to say about it.
I wonder if he gets the Rudy Tooty Fresh, the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Pruden.
I bet he's a Moons Over My Hammy.
Moons Over My Hammy.
My hammy. News broke yesterday that saxophone legend David Sanborn died on Sunday, and we're just finding out about it today. He was 78 and had been battling prostate cancer. He's played with just about everybody in music and a bunch of different genres. He appears on a bunch of classic rock hits, that have a saxophone part. That's often David Sanborn. He would also regularly sit in with Paul Schaefer and the Letterman Show, as well as the Saturday Night Live band, even playing on some of the intros. So let's hear a little montage. You may not have known it, but you have heard David Sanborn's saxophone in hits by David Bowie, Bruce Springsteen, which is weird to me because Bruce Springsteen famously had his own saxophone player, Clarence Clemens. He was like after Little Steven and Bruce Springsteen, Clarence was the most famous person in the E Street Band. So it's weird that they got David Sanborn to play on 10th Avenue Freeze Out. So here's just a little audio montage of all the work that the late David Sanborn did with his saxophone skills.
Our next guest is a terrific saxophone player, and he plays with our band most every Thursday night. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome David Sanborn.
You know that one, Joanna, right? Young Americans.
Wow, sounds great.
New York, it's Saturday night.
It's Saturday Night Live with musical guest David Sanborn.
So interesting story about David Sanborn, who passed on Sunday at 78. He had polio as a child because we didn't have a vaccine back then, but he had polio. And his doctor recommended playing saxophone to strengthen his chest muscles and improve his breathing. And that's what led him to pick up the saxophone. Got a couple other clips here for you. Steve Carell was on with Stephen Colbert and was asked about the Office spinoff. So what do we know about the Office spinoff, Joanna? You've covered it a couple of times.
Yes, it's going to be about a Midwestern newspaper.
That's really on its last legs.
Yes.
Set in the same universe.
Set in the same universe.
Any of the original characters?
See, I don't know if it makes sense.
Really.
So what they're saying, the spinoff part of it is that the documentary crew,
Yeah, it'll be the same crew.
who you never see.
Right.
Except that one guy that kind of had a crush on Pam.
All right, the one guy on the document. It's just like it's the same documentary crew, but now they are
From the same people who brought you The Office, the documentary.
That's hilarious.
So I don't know if there'll be any crossovers, but Steve Carell was asked about if Michael Scott would be showing up on the spinoff.
Is there any chance Steve Carell shows up in this spinoff of The Office?
I doubt it. But maybe.
It didn't take much to turn that crowd.
I think what they'll probably do is they'll put the show on, and if it stands on its own, you'll be able to tell that it's not doing that great when they start
If they have.
when
They have to bring in like the original Office characters.
right when Kevin Frost shows up. I do not talk like the Cookie Monster. A couple of judges have been added to The Voice. Michael Bublé is going to be a judge and a mentor.
Oh, Boobles?
And also Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to regret saying this, but does Snoop Dogg sing?
Mm-mm.
He's a rapper.
This is a singing competition.
I know.
He doesn't, like, he's never sung a song.
He's supposed to be a coach.
Here's Snoop Dogg talking about the announcement that he's going to be a coach on the next season. Just add "is it" to the last part of any
Gin
word.
and juice.
Gin and jizzy.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry, that's just how Snoop Dogg language.
No, I'm more cringed at you than.
Here is Snoop Dogg talking about the announcement that he's going to be a coach next season on The Voice.
Well, if you know anything about me, you know I love all forms of music. So this is a great opportunity for me to show that I really understand music and, to be a real coach and to really give direction to some of these artists that could be, today's next big thing.
I hope, yeah, because he's going to have singers, and I hope he knows, the mechanics of being able to help that kind of stuff.
I mean, I honestly don't know if Snoop Dogg knows the first thing about singing.
Yeah, he's in the music industry, maybe.
He knows a thing or two, probably.
Okay, so I just have to turn you on to this guy. You can check out his YouTube videos. He calls himself Cartman. And he does kind of look like Cartman if Cartman was a 40-year-old guy with a guitar. So he does cover songs, but he does all of them in the voice of Cartman.
Amazing.
And over the years, he has really gotten that Cartman voice.
Respect my authority.
Wait until you hear this guy. So, what's the guy's name?
Cartman.
Yeah, he just goes by Cartman. He kind of looks like Cartman. Here he is playing Paint It Black by the Rolling Stones. Cartman was around 40 with a big black beard, he would kind of look like this guy. And you can check out videos on YouTube, but his main account on Instagram is where he periodically releases song covers as Cartman.
You got a Cartman voice?
You
will respect my satire.
That was pretty good.
Rock Band used to have.
Kyle Mom is a bitch.
Rock Band used to have Poker Face, but in the style of Cartman. It was hilarious.
Poker Face.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a break. We're going to come back here in just a few minutes. We're going to have the Mo Show calendar. We've got a true crime report. Joanna's Hollywood Cheesemay is on the way, and a whole lot more coming up today on the Buzz Adams Show.
Double G here. Coming up after the Buzz Adams Morning Show at 10, featured double shots throughout the day.
Call, click, just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Interman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
We're going to have the Mo Show calendar and daily almanac of events on the way in just a few minutes, then a true crime report. Tomorrow, legendary Slayer guitarist Kerry King is going to be on the show with us. He has a solo album out. And don't forget, he's appearing at that big metal concert at the County Coliseum. Kerry King will be performing along with Lamb of God, Mastodon, and Malevolence. This is going to really test the foundations, I feel like, of the County Coliseum. We'll find out how well constructed that roof is.
Before they blow it off.
Yeah. So that is coming up on August 25th. Kerry King, Mastodon, Lamb of God, Malevolence. And tomorrow we'll be talking to the one and only Kerry King on the show. I wanted to mention that we also have a contest going on. We're giving code words out. Not for cash this time. Although, you know what? Actually, you do get cash as part of this prize. This is for the VIP Upheaval Festival experience. Upheaval is a big music rock festival, 2 days that happens in Michigan. And we're going to send our winner there in July. You and a guest get to go. Airfare and accommodations are included. We're even going to give you $500 spending cash. And some of the bands that are going to be playing the Upheaval Festival, Godsmack, also Bad Omens, Beartooth, just to name a few. So listen for the code words, and I'll give you the approximate times that you'll hear them. They're going to be 4 each day, Monday through Friday. Once you get a code word, enter it on the KLAQ mobile app. The first code word is right around 10 a.m. Then at 2 p.m., we got another code word at 5 p.m., and later in the evening, 8 p.m., is when you can hear the fourth code word. Enter the code words on the KLAQ mobile app. Win the VIP Upheaval Festival experience, courtesy of Me Entertainment. Let's see. What else is going on today? I am going to have a good news, bad news of the week.
Oh, awesome.
The way.
A lot of good news, a lot of bad news.
Yeah, equal parts. Judge Judy is going after the National Enquirer for allegedly lying about her. The National Enquirer, I guess the boss of the National Enquirer, the owner, was one of the people who testified in the hush money, the Stormy Daniels trial.
David Pecker, right?
David Pecker. That's right.
Well, what did they say about Judge Judy? That she was like the mother of an alien spawn baby?
No, worse. They ran a story claiming that Judge Judy was trying to get a retrial for the Menendez brothers.
Whoa! Okay.
Those are the brothers who are both in prison for murdering their parents. They've been in prison almost 30 years. Judge Judy says there's absolutely no truth to it, so she's suing the National Enquirer along with In Touch Weekly, who also ran the story. Judge Judy said, "When you fabricate stories about me in order to make money for yourselves with no regard for the truth or reputation I've spent a long time cultivating, it's going to cost you. It's unconscionable, and it will be expensive," although there's no word exactly on how much Judge Judy is suing for. You know, Judge Judy was, and may still be, but at one time she was the highest paid television personality on television.
I did, and I know for a fact because my dad was one of the viewers who was keeping her on top of the the charts.
Your dad enjoyed Judge Judy.
Oh, I couldn't walk into the house without him watching a rerun or something
of Judge Judy.
Judge Judy. And it's like, why do you like this? And he's like, well, I really like Perry Mason growing up. This is nothing like Perry Mason.
There's a social media movement going on to block and unfollow celebrities who are either you could get blocked if you're a celebrity for supporting Israel.
What?
Or if you don't use your platform to speak out in a pro-Palestinian way.
Okay, yeah.
Targets so far include the Kardashians, Zendaya, Justin Bieber, and even Taylor Swift. Now, I don't know if it's the end of the world for any of these celebrities if they lose some followers on social media or not. But it's interesting to me. It's like, you're neutral on this subject. You're not saying anything about.
Well, we must punish you.
Well, we got to punish you for remaining silent. It's a social media movement to punish celebrities who aren't using their influence to speak out in praise of the Palestinians or against what's happening in Gaza. They call them block lists that are circulating online. The movement was started by a TikTok user because, of course, it was. The TikTok user started the movement after seeing the decadence on display at the Met Gala last week. The Met Gala is the closest thing we have in the real world to Hunger Games. I feel like to make the Met Gala complete, they need to have like a kid from each state there fighting for their lives,
and
all
food.
These people dressed in crazy avant-garde costumes sit there and dine on pate. I really hate the Met Gala, man. So the woman who started goes by the TikTok username Lady from the Outside, said, quote, "It's time for people to conduct what I call a digital guillotine, a digitine, if you will. It's time to block all the celebrities, influencers, and wealthy socialites who are not using their resources to help those in need in Gaza. We gave them their platforms." This is still Lady from the Outside talking. "It's time to take it back. Take our views away, our likes, our comments, our money." Believe it or not, the campaign might be working. Lizzo started posting videos about Gaza after she ended up on the block list.
Oh, no. Well, Lizzo was on a block list before that, so.
Yeah, this sounds like another damned if you do, damned if you don't. Damned if you don't even do anything. You know what? I'm not going to comment. They might still go after you. Are you ready? Maybe I'll tell you this story real quick. Does anybody watch the show Fargo? Not the movie Fargo, but the TV show Fargo.
No.
It's always set in either
Fargo.
Yeah, it's not always.
It looks cold.
It's always somewhere cold. It's always Minnesota or North Dakota but the last season they did this. John Hamm was a character who's running for sheriff. So they had 3 other candidates change their name to whatever his character's name was and then show up at the debate. So you had 4. Joanna, you love John Hamm. You didn't watch any of
No, everyone
that
kept
episode
telling me
of Fargo?
to watch. Yeah.
No, she loved John's ham.
Okay. They're doing something similar to what they pulled on John Hamm in that most recent season of Fargo. Washington State's Attorney General Bob Ferguson is running for governor. He's running as a Democrat. The field got a lot more crowded over the weekend just before time expired to come forth if you're going to be a candidate. 2 more Bob Fergusons entered the race for governor at the last minute. Both of the men are named Bob Ferguson. In Fargo, the shifty lawyer had a bunch of guys go down and change their name to whatever. They filed to run just a few hours before the deadline, which was last Friday. This is not a coincidence. A Republican operative named Glenn Morgan admitted that he was behind it and said he's running both campaigns for the other 2 Bob Fergusons. The idea being to confuse people and split the vote between the 3 Bob Fergusons so that no one would win.
Is your name Bob Ferguson? Well, we could use you.
The original Bob Ferguson, who's running for governor, held a press conference yesterday and called this an attack on the electoral system. Could something so underhanded actually work? Well, we won't know because the other 2 Bobs ended up dropping out of the race yesterday.
Oh.
It turns out that there is already a law in the state of Washington to prevent this exact thing from happening.
See, we knew this was going to happen someday.
It's a felony. A felony in Washington.
To get people with the same name.
To run for office just because you have the same name as someone else and carries a jail sentence of 10 years. The original Bob Ferguson suggested the 2 other Bob Fergusons did not know about the law, let them know about it, and called on them to pull out of the race before it was too late. Washington Secretary of State said this is not actually a new tactic. And that's why there's a law to prevent it. Instances of people with similar names running for office goes back nearly a century in Washington and other states.
We found 10 Buzz Adams who are all running for mayor, guys.
But that is very much like part of the plot of the most recent season of Fargo.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's get to our Mojo calendar and daily almanac of events and find out what is going on this fine day. It is May the 14th. Today is Stars and Stripes Forever Day. Also,
what's that for?
Probably the flag, I would guess.
Okay.
Stars and Stripes, right? Today is Underground America Day. International Chihuahua Day.
I can already tell just from seeing your face from reading some of these things that I should not ask follow-up questions about what these are.
Why?
Because
Underground America Day, I don't know.
That's the one. I saw you read that out, and I saw you like squint your eyes, and I was like, I guess I'm not going to ask him about that.
Also, like, he kind of went through it really fast.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have a link, and I could click on the link, but this one does not. So I'm going to say it's like mole people.
Yeah, the Morlocks.
Yeah.
This is going to support the Morlocks.
It's the mole people that live underneath the New York City subway system. Today is International Chihuahua Day, celebrating the most annoying of all dog breeds, the Chihuahua.
Oh, my Jack is part Chihuahua, and I don't think I would love him the same. No, he's like a lap dog. National Underground America Day.
Was I anything close?
Celebrated to recognize the people who live in underground architecture in North America, and to celebrate the benefits, lifestyle, and architecture of underground living.
Have you ever seen like the investigative piece? Also Vegas. I guess there's a big sewer system underneath Las Vegas, like right underneath. I don't know if it's underneath the Strip or not, but supposedly there are hundreds of homeless people, and they've got electricity hooked up down there, and
like in some sub-level of society?
Underneath the ground. Like Morlocks. So keep that in mind the next time you visit New York or Nevada or Las Vegas.
That's hilarious.
There are Morlocks down there, and you are their food source, the Eloi.
I bet kids don't even read the Time Machine anymore. They don't even make movies about it. The last movie was that Guy Pearce one.
Yeah, that one was not.
It was not good.
Not good at all. Birthdays today include former child star Miranda Cosgrove, who's 31. She was the star of iCarly.
You know, I did not know that she was also in
School of Rock.
School of Rock, that little girl from School of Rock. I didn't know it was the same one.
I've never seen School of Rock.
You fool. It is so good.
Yeah, well, you've never seen Citizen Kane, so.
Rosebud.
You know the reference, but you've never seen it. So Miranda Cosgrove, iCarly's 31 today. Rob Gronkowski, formerly of the New England Patriots and Tampa Bay Buccaneer, and wherever Tom Brady goes next, I guess. Rob Gronkowski is 35.
It was pretty funny. All the jokes at the roast about Gronkowski were how dumb he is.
Just how dumb he is. That's his whole persona. Is I'm a big dumb guy.
But one of the funniest roasts, and I don't remember who said it. They were like, Tom, who got you to invest in crypto?
Oh, yeah.
Even Rob Gronkowski was like, this no real money. That was Nikki Glaser. That's right.
You know, I guess Nikki Glazer's been a comic for a long time.
Yeah.
But I think this is like her breakthrough was her performance at the Tom Brady roast.
Really?
Well, she's really blown up. I mean, she was
to me, she's always been the national headlining. She has like 6 Netflix specials.
I'm not saying she was unknown. I'm just saying that this was a real
boost,
and she was really kind of like the star of the show. She's got nice legs too. Mark Zuckerberg, who started Facebook, which is now called. Is it called Meta? Is anybody calling it that?
Mm-hmm. Well, the parent company.
Mark Zuckerberg is 40 today. Net worth approximately $164 billion.
Whoa.
Think about that. You could give someone $1 billion. You could gift someone $1 billion, and you would still have $163 billion left. Birthday for Sofia Coppola, the daughter of Francis Ford Coppola, and director in her own right. She was the director of Lost in Translation, The Virgin Suicides, and something just recently. I can't remember. Sofia Coppola is 53.
Priscilla, maybe?
Did she direct?
Yes.
She did Priscilla? Okay. I haven't seen that yet. Actress Cate Blanchett is 55 today. And the surviving member of Milli Vanilli, Fabrice Morvan, is 58.
Was he Millie or was he Vanilli?
I don't know. The other guy, I think, killed himself. You didn't know that?
No.
No, over all of the stuff,
Really?
the scandal, or was it like something
years
separate?
later? But I think probably the scandal didn't help matters. Also, a birthday for Poison guitarist CeCe DeVille, 62 today. Lead singer of the Cult, Ian Astbury, is 62. And actor Tim Roth, who is fantastic, is 63, from Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction and The Hateful Eight. A lot of Tarantino movies on his credits. So Tim Roth is 63. He was also the Abomination in the Hulk movie that had Ed Norton in it.
Mm-hmm.
Canadian rocker Tom Cochrane is 71. His biggest hit was Life is a Highway.
Life is a highway.
I will ride it all night long. If you're going my way.
Beautiful.
Lead singer of the Talking Heads, David Byrne, is celebrating a birthday today. He's 72. And a couple of directors, Robert Zemeckis, directed Forrest Gump, Back to the Future, Romancing the Stone, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. He's 72 today. And the guy who created Star Wars and Indiana Jones and then spent the rest of his life kind of taking a big steaming dump all over all of those franchises, George Lucas, turns 80 today.
What's right? They're my movies. I can redigitize them if I want. I could add Jabba the Hutt as a CGI character if I want.
We can make it so it looks like Greedo shot first. Terrible. Jar Jar Binks. But nothing in the Star Wars universe comes close to what they did to our fond memories of Indiana Jones. But George Lucas is 80 today. Today is Online Romance Day. Don't get catfished, folks. Seen it happen way too many times on TV.
Do either of you know anybody in person who has been catfished? Because I do know somebody.
I wouldn't say that I know anybody who's been catfished.
I don't think I know anyone, no. You know someone who was catfished?
Nico, were you catfished?
It wasn't me.
Okay.
Did you do the catfishing?
Oh, I know somebody who's been catfished. Manti Te'o.
Manti Te'o was catfished.
Manti Te'o. I mean, I don't know him, but I know who he is.
I've hat-fished girls before.
What is that?
Where you wear a hat and they think you have hair up until the
hat comes off and you're like, I've been with a bald man.
All the photos I would have me in a cap or a hat, and they would never know whether I had hair or not.
And you'd put those on. That should be a warning sign, ladies. Don't get hat fished. If a guy has a hat on, he is bald in all his photos. Unless you can see him with a hat off.
Right.
Assume he's bald.
Gino from 90 Day Fiancé.
A few dates in history. 76 years ago, British rule in Palestine came to an end. This was 1948, and the independent state of Israel was proclaimed the following day.
Wow, how relevant.
Just to run down, so 1948, British said, we're not in charge of Palestine anymore. Day 2, the state of Israel was proclaimed. Day 3, Arabs from Palestine and neighboring countries attacked Israel, and the Israelis defeated them, capturing almost all of Palestine. I would like to say that's how all this began, but it doesn't. It goes at least 2,000 years before that.
And I think I had this thought before where it was like, well, why don't they just create a Palestinian country? Why would it be that, like, when they started Israel, when they created Israel, why wouldn't they already have had a Palestine? They did. They had an entire Palestinian country, just a Palestine, and Israel. In that war that you're talking about, Israel captured Palestine because they decided to go against them in a war.
To be clear, the Palestinians and people from neighboring Egypt and other countries all attacked Israel one day after they became a country. One day after they became a country, and Israel beat them all and said, well, this is ours now. Because
you tried to war us.
That's usually how war works. A couple of dates in history. 26 years ago, a couple of very memorable things happened on the same night. In 1998, Seinfeld aired its final episode after 9 years on NBC. The same day, and it didn't get covered as much because the Seinfeld finale took up a lot of the oxygen, but on that same evening, Frank Sinatra had a heart attack and died at the age of 82.
The same night as the Seinfeld finale?
Yeah.
I remember watching the finale. Live. Not live, but when it aired.
You didn't watch it live?
Well, it's not live.
Well, no. But
when it airs.
When it airs on its time slot.
Yeah, it's premiere.
That's one of the few times in the last 30 years where I think most of America was watching the same thing.
Well, have you heard that's why Netflix wants to return to live programming? Because they want something to be watched by the whole country at once, or the whole world. They don't want something to be in pieces.
Who wants to do that? Netflix?
That's why they're doing these live. The Cat Williams special was entirely live this year. And it was kind of eclipsed because it wasn't that great.
Yeah, but like the Tom Brady roast, you can go back and watch the Tom Brady roast.
It wouldn't be the same because
they've edited out those boos, remember?
Oh, all right. And today is Bond with Your Dog Day.
Aw, Buzz.
Or as Christy Noem calls it, Tuesday. Happy Bond with Your Dog Day, everybody.
Pooping in the neighbor's yard. Get that dog off my lawn. Riding with me in my car. Always giving people licks. And helping me to meet some chicks.
My name's Taylor.
And this is Muttley. That's how I bond with my dog. Sorry he dropped that big log.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5.
It's WarrensTrialLawyers.com. Decades of experience available to you. Wyatt Underwood, TrialLawyers.com.
Oh, guess who this is?
Buzz Adams and the KLAQ Morning Show.
You must be the greatest radio show host ever.
Buzz is back.
We've got a true crime report. Get ready for the Florida Man game. That'll be included in the True Crime Report coming up in just a few moments.
Love it.
Joanna's going to have the Hollywood Cheesemay, our entertainment report, coming up after that. Let me tell you about your options for free music this summer. We've got the State Line Patio Concert Series that is back every Wednesday starting at 6 o'clock. And this week, the artist is Brooklyn Fenn. Come on out. Starts getting nice and cool. It's a real shady patio. They got extra bars set up outside so you don't have to wait too long for a drink. And, of course, you can enjoy some barbecue right out there on the patio as you listen to the music. Also, Glenn Garza is going to be your host. He'll have some giveaways. Eat some tasty barbecue, have an ice cold beverage of your choice, win free stuff, and enjoy some fine live music every Wednesday at the State Line Restaurant near the corner of Sunland Park Drive and Donovan. Read all about it, KLAQ.com. And Cool Canyon Nights is back. We had our opening night at McKellican Canyon Amphitheater last Thursday, and all summer we're going to have free music for you every Thursday at McKellican Canyon Amphitheater. And that is, that's worth it just to go into the scenic setting among the hills of McKellican Canyon Amphitheater. It is free to attend. Parking is free. Everything you need to know about Cool Canyon Nights is at KLAQ.com.
It's so pretty up there.
Yeah, it's really nice. The authorities in Thailand discovered more than 700 pounds of drugs. They were being smuggled inside a giant life-size Transformer statue of Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and Greenland.
So you're saying the tagline is Transformers, drug dealers in disguise?
Yeah, I'm not all that familiar with Transformers.
Transformers, robots in disguise.
They found all kinds of drugs, over 700 pounds of drugs. All right. Let me hear what you think about this. A dating app says it would be possible to have an AI dating concierge, essentially an avatar, that could go on dates with other people's avatars so you don't even have to go on the dates anymore. Now, this either sounds like a joke or an episode of Black Mirror, right?
Totally Black Mirror.
That's the first thing that came to mind for me.
Great. My avatar's going to have a better dating life.
Would you trust your AI to go on a date with another AI and then tell you if you're compatible with the person on the other side?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It does all the work for you, and then it'll
Kind
come back
of.
like, hey, yeah, you're not going to like this guy at all.
I kind of am into that.
I'd be cool with that.
AI could now go on dates for you. The founder of Bumble.
Thanks for doing the hard work, little Nico.
What if it, but if it were Black Mirror, it would make like an exact copy of you and your consciousness. And
I can do this better than you, Nicholas.
The founder of Bumble says it could be possible in the near future, and that's in quotes, to have an AI dating concierge, essentially an avatar. And your avatar could go on a date with another person's dating avatar. That way you wouldn't have to waste money.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to waste a whole evening if it didn't go well.
And then, like in Black Mirror, it'll tell you if you're compatible or not. And if you are, it'll tell you like a countdown of how long your relationship will last.
That was which one was that episode?
Hang the DJ.
One of the best Black
That was a
Mirror
good
episodes.
one.
That's in my top 5. Along with San Junipero.
San Junipero was good too.
And the USS Callister.
Hey, little Nico, am I going to like this girl?
My little avatar would be like,
Nah.
don't even bother putting on makeup, Joanna.
Small peen.
You'd make sure your avatar even had a hat, wouldn't you? Nico.
You would make sure your avatar was thin, wouldn't you?
Boys.
It says that the dating concierge avatars could breeze through hundreds of dates in no time at all. Then they would give you the person or a list of people that you should meet in person based on how the avatar's date went.
Hundreds of dates?
My avatar's a hoe.
Jane, you slut.
It says here the dating apps already use data and algorithms to help you find matches. But why are you laughing about that?
I'm just thinking, like, it goes on a date for you. It comes back and it's like, yeah, that was not worth it at all.
Nah, not this one.
It comes back
Okay,
with
so-
0 names.
So we're going to see if your AI hits it off with another person's AI.
It's going to be
and
like
then
in
you
that
might
other
actually-
episode
Wait.
of Black Mirror where they're meeting up in a video game and banging.
But it's the two dudes that are best friends?
Yes.
But one of them in a video game.
What happens if my AI avatar is like, oh, yeah, we already slept together? My avatar is getting more action than me.
That is truly dystopian. There could be conversations, virtual conversations, and the AI could make the determination based on how the other person's AI answers yours.
Wait, I have an interesting question. How do you get your own AI?
Let's
That's a
see.
good question. Maybe through the app.
Yeah, what makes your AI yours?
Okay.
It probably makes you fill out all the stuff about your interests.
It does. You would have to collect information.
You would have to train a model the way that ChatGPT gets trained. You have to like feed it. It's not the matter of just like answering a form.
Your concierge would ask you a bunch of questions. The information would further, and they use the word train the AI.
Yeah.
And the AI would also give you tips and suggestions about how to communicate with dates in real life.
GPT.
Essentially.
Then, like, you could ask questions like, "What's Joanna's favorite color?" And my little avatar would be like, "Pink."
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast.
Actual crime stories from around the world and across the nation. Mostly around the world. We don't do a lot of international crime. A 27-year-old California man is facing charges after threatening to kill a surgeon who he claims gave him near constant diarrhea.
What?
The 27-year-old man is Robert McDougall. He has a condition called ulcerative colitis, a painful condition of the bowels. He's from Costa Mesa.
Wait, how do you surgically give somebody diarrhea?
Well, I think he had the
Implanting the diarrhea?
He had a major surgery back in 2020 that apparently involved removing his colon. Now he claims it wasn't necessary. He says that he has daily diarrhea attacks at least 15 times a day.
You and me both, buddy. You and me both.
According to the FBI, yes, the FBI has opened a file on this guy.
The federal bowel investigation?
Federal butt investigators. According to the FBI, Mr. McDougall blames his surgeon, and they're not light threats. He's talked about killing and torturing his surgeon, saying things like he needs to feel levels of pain no living creature has ever felt.
Oh my God. I guess that is rough, having the 15 times a day diarrhea. Well, that's a lot of diarrhea.
15? Is that more or less than you, Jenny?
It's significantly less than I'm diarrheaing as we speak. Yeah, could you imagine like a picture like him eating like taking a bite of something and every like 5 seconds having to go to the bathroom, like oh it's time.
Yeah,
this is some of the stuff. I've got some audio, so this is a little bit of what
this audio of his diarrhea.
Of him making the threats to the surgeon.
Jared, do you think that there's a moment that goes by where I don't think about your face?
Okay, so right there you're thinking, oh, this is like a character. Yeah. This is like he's doing.
No, that's the guy that says leave Britney alone.
Jared, do you think that there's a moment that goes by?
The surgeon's first name, I guess, is Jared.
Where I don't think about your face and hurting you. Jared is the one. You, Jared, are the one. This was the course of my life. The course of my treatment for my ulcerative colitis. I was about to try Stellaire and Xeljanz together, and he just destroys, shatters the life.
The way I destroyed this toilet. I don't know. I heard about a lot of surgeons who will, throw unnecessary procedures just to kind of have a procedure on the line.
Not resetting somebody's colon. I'm not going to say it doesn't happen because medical mistakes happen all the time, but it's definitely not something that somebody would just throw on to make some extra cash.
Well, no, but I mean, like he could have jumped the gun. You know what I mean? Like jumped to maybe there was some other steps that could have happened before.
He could have changed his diet, or he could for whatever reason. Though this hysterical sounding man feels like it's all the doctor's fault.
I mean. Either way, it sounds like a crappy situation.
I hope this guy is screaming from the toilet. Like, I hope this was...
Right, he can't get off.
Jared!
Okay, so last week, a woman in North Carolina, and I think we've all been there at some point, accidentally left her credit card behind at a restaurant. It happens from time to time. She accidentally left her credit card. When she realized it, she went back to pick it up, but there had been a problem in the meantime. an employee, I assume trying to be helpful, spotted the card, and in an effort to find Rhonda Deaver, the customer, this employee took photos of the front and back of her credit card.
Why the back?
And
Even the
posted it on Facebook in a group for the town of Kinston, North Carolina. The photos were not edited, so all of her information, including the 3-digit security code on the back.
Yeah,
See, the first part of your story makes me think that person was raised right for giving that credit card back.
Yeah.
No, they were not raised
The
right.
second part.
The caption said, "Hey guys, Mrs. Rhonda Deaver, you left your card here at the store. If you know her, let her know we have it and would love to make sure it's returned. We have placed it in a secure location." You put it on the internet.
Real secure right here in this post. Here's her social, if anybody knows her.
Rhonda's found that there had been $2,000 in charges, along with a bunch of declines. So
I think I say 2,000 charges. Like,
$2,000 in charges.
Yeah.
Rhonda's bank closed the account. Many of the charges were declined, but she says she still has to go through the process of disputing $2,000 in charges on her credit card. Here is Mrs. Deaver explaining her ordeal with the credit card.
I couldn't believe that they did that, but I was sick thinking that I might be responsible for all those charges. It had been used a whole lot of declines, but a whole lot that went through. I live on a fixed income, and there's not like there's extra money every month to cover those bills that somebody else charged on my card.
All right.
Those credit cards will take care of that real quick, though.
Will they?
Hopefully.
Yeah, I've had stuff like that happen before. They're pretty quick about it.
Yeah, I've stolen tons.
So many cards.
This is not our Florida man story, but it is from Florida. A man in Florida was arrested for trashing his ex-girlfriend's house.
Oh, man.
Well, you haven't heard the worst. The trashing included flushing her pet fish down the toilet.
Oh.
No. I wonder what kind of
Wait,
fish it
yeah, and how close was she to that fish?
was. Goldfish? Beta fish?
Was she,
Probably a
Puffer fish?
Not a puffer fish. Those are exotic.
what was that movie with the woman's in love with the fish man?
Shape
Shape of Water?
Shape of Water, yeah, she has a Shape of Water relationship with that fish.
Here's some recent information. They asked people their feelings about drugs being legalized. 60% of Americans believe marijuana should be legal.
I think all
60%.
I think all drugs should be legalized, and so that way they.
Whoa!
I do. I think. Look, this is. I think you should. I think they should have a warning label the same way they have with cigarettes, like where it says, like, "Hey, you're gonna die if you do this."
Heroin
or
could
here's-
kill you.
Here's what might happen, but at least it's like regulated. There's no fentanyl in your heroin. You know what I mean?
Your heroin is straight, pure heroin.
Purest heroin that you can get. But and then if people mess up and they do, that was on them. Like I think as long as you're an adult, like maybe the consenting age can be like 60, but or like that should be the legal age for heroin.
Well, let's find out how many people agree with you. So 60% of Americans said marijuana should be legal. Across the board, 60%. 27% would be fine with mushrooms being legal. I would be fine with mushrooms being legal. And, you got to have an age, just like you do with anything else.
Yeah.
You got to be at least whatever the age is.
If it grows in the ground, it ain't drugs.
It just came out like that.
16% said they think MDA or ecstasy should be legal. And 15% say acid should be legalized.
And
we didn't get to angel dust or heroin.
If it's put on blotter paper.
Regulate
not
that
drugs.
blotter paper. I mean, and I think the rest of the percentage were just afraid to say, or like they were worried of who was getting this survey.
I think, mushrooms,
I mean,
I don't think the world would end.
No, it'd probably be a happier place. Remember, like the whole hippie revolution back in the 60s?
Oh, yeah. Those were great times.
We could go back to something like that. And then, if people mess up on whatever it is they're doing, just weed out the weak.
See what you did there.
So it comes with a warning label, but also by consuming it, you are are.
Depopulate this overpopulated planet.
You take all the responsibility upon yourself for.
Yeah. I think as long as you are an adult of sound mind, you should be able to do whatever you want to do with your life.
Joanna, are you ready for the Florida Man game?
Yeah.
All right, let's get it.
Runs naked through a dairy farm.
Florida man, Florida man.
Who never fears
Any bodily harm. Florida man, Florida man.
Who's made love
To a dozen trees. Throws tennis balls that are full of bees.
Who tries to bite
Every cop he sees. Florida man, Florida man.
The rules are fairly simple. I'm going to give you a headline about a Florida man, and I'm going to leave one word out, and your job is to fill in the word. Florida man steals boat wearing only his underwear and blank.
Peanut butter.
No, take a moment. We're going to write this down.
Oh, okay.
You jumped the gun there a little bit. It's okay. This is your first time playing.
I was
Not a problem.
ready. I was ready to go.
Here we go. I need it written down.
Okay.
Once again, Florida man steals boat wearing only his underwear and blank. We will give our celebrity guest a chance to write down their answers. We'll check and see if anybody was able to nail it. Nico's done writing. Joanna, you
Yes,
done?
Done.
Jenny, how you doing?
Well, now I got to think of something different because I threw out my first answer.
Why don't you start with me or Joanna?
Nico, Florida man steals boat wearing only his underwear and blank.
All right. I know Joanna's going to go for the faithful meth and alligator, so I'm going to go snorkel.
Just his underwear and a snorkel.
I
Stole a
almost
boat.
went with that.
You know, not
Nice.
a bad guess. I'm not going to tell you if you're right or not.
Okay.
But not an embarrassing guess. Joanna.
I went with pool float.
Oh.
A little floaty for the pool.
Okay.
I'll say,
Jenny,
I'll
man.
say a smile.
Florida man
But I'm
steals
making
boat wearing only his
hard
underwear
smile.
and a smile.
A hard smile.
Unfortunately, I'm sorry, no winner here.
None?
You fake news. You fake news.
Florida man steals boat wearing only his underwear and ankle monitor.
That's a new one.
That's a new
that
one.
We
That's
got to add to the regular.
the list. It's obvious. Florida man. Yeah.
When fact is better than fiction.
There you go. Let me give you a little bit about it. Man's ill-fated attempt to take a joyride on a boat didn't end up. People who witnessed him said it was clear that he has never had any experience with a boat. Like he didn't know the first thing to do. Anthony Terry found himself in hot water after allegedly stealing a $100,000 boat near Conch House Marina. The boat, now afloat but listing heavily, became a viral sensation on Facebook with images of the accident spreading rapidly.
Oh, that's hilarious.
One eyewitness shared he approached my daughter and her boyfriend in his underwear with a boat bumper tied to his arm, wearing an ankle monitor.
Wait. A boat bumper? Isn't that like a floaty?
No.
Now,
That's like a piece of the boat.
you don't wear a boat bumper.
He said attached to his, tied to his arm.
Like he, as if he would like ripped it off, I think. It's supposed to be tied to it.
Mr. Terry, the man in his underwear with only a ankle monitor, has a prior record. He was reportedly on probation for a number of charges, it says.
I imagine.
Further testimony from a boater another eyewitness who saw what was going on, quote, it was very clear he had very little boating knowledge. He struggled with basic knots. He didn't know whether to attach his anchor. The boat, if it can be salvaged, and I guess when this was written, we didn't know yet if it has been, but it's going to be thousands of dollars in repair cost for the boat that was stolen. Mr. Terry has been charged with grand larceny for his joyride. And that is the Florida Man game. Sorry, no winners.
Aww.
The $10,000 prize doesn't get claimed today.
Who plays baseball with a feral cat?
Florida man, Florida man.
Tried to stab his boss with a
Sewer rat. Florida man, Florida man.
Who snorts crank and screams in the street? Whose favorite food is
Human meat.
Who gave Marco
Rubio a Senate seat. Florida man, Florida man.
Find out what's going on. Quirky facts about our region. Urgent things you need to know impacting your drive. And of course, nothing but El Paso's best rock. Oh, with Double G.
Nice. Get 6 times longer lasting freshness plus odor protection with Downy Unstoppables in Wash Feed.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Enderman Personal Injury Lawyers. At GVILaw.com.
When August 25th rolls around, there's going to be this enormous metal show. It is going to be the loudest show possibly in the history of the El Paso County Coliseum, with Lamb of God and Mastodon.
Woo!
Also, special guest Kerry King from Slayer. And he's got a solo album that comes out on Friday.
That is so cool.
So we're going to interview Kerry King of Slayer, one of the founding members. And we're going to interview him tomorrow on the air.
Yeah?
Yes. And while I was researching a little bit about Kerry King, did you know he plays the guitar part on 2 of Beastie Boys' most famous hits?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
Fight for Your Right to Party. That's Kerry King from Slayer playing guitar. And the other one is No Sleep Till Brooklyn.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Those are the best songs that they have.
He played the guitar parts on all of those.
Well, that always made me wonder, because the Beastie Boys are they a band or a rap group?
A rap group.
Right.
I mean, I think I've never been to a Beastie Boys show, but I don't think they're up there like with guitars and drum.
I didn't think so. But people refer to them as a band a lot of times.
Yeah, you know what? You're asking the wrong guy. There's definitely instruments on their songs, so I guess they must have some kind of band.
And Kerry King is one of the musicians.
Yeah. So that's on the way. I got a few neckline calls, then Joanna has got our Hollywood Cheesemay coming up. So let's go to the neckline first. You can call the neckline 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Anytime you want to call, the neckline is available to take your call. You'll hear a brief recorded message, then leave your message, and, try and get it to 30 seconds, a minute. Somewhere in there is a good time for a neckline call.
What's up, Mo Show? Yeah, that's ODG's tagline right there. But I've been watching a lot of HBO Max lately, and I can recommend, you guys recommend good shows to me and us, listeners. And I mean, the least we can do is recommend good shows back to you all. I started watching Conan. What is it called? Conan Must Go. Yeah, Conan Must Go. He had an earlier series like that from 2017, but the revamped version, pretty funny. The first episode, I did not like it, but the other 3 were amazing. He's hilarious, annoying as always. And then I started watching The Sopranos. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like writing back then in the day is so much better than writing now. No offense to all the writers right now, but still, I just feel like older shows just, I don't know, hit harder. And then I'm watching the new Kevin Spacey documentary on HBO Max. Yeah.
What?
Oh, it is dark. There's a anecdote of Kevin Spacey self-congratulating himself. I don't know how to say that. No.
What do you mean congratulating himself?
It's congratulating himself.
Self-gratifying.
I'm actually doing the motion for you, so you know what I'm talking about. So there's no way you can...
Spank is jerking it.
Sure.
Jesus.
I didn't know what congratulating oneself.
Well, you could help me out.
Yeah, but I was in the dark.
I was doing this motion. What do you think that means?
Like I'm about to roll some dice? Or let's play craps, everybody? I don't know.
Apparently, he was spanking the monkey to Saving Private Ryan, like the war scenes and stuff.
According to who?
This documentary.
Okay, is Kevin Spacey cooperating with the documentary?
No, I don't think so.
But it's about him.
Yes.
Okay. You think there's any chance Kevin Spacey ever gets uncanceled? Like gets cast in a movie or anything? No. Done forever.
Like the level of kind of the weird kinky stuff he's done that came out of this documentary are like so shocking. I can't imagine who would hire him back.
Hey, good morning. Good morning show. Hey, Nico and Buzz, you guys were singing that Life is a Highway right now. You guys have done that in the car before, right? Like carpool karaoke style. I'm not hating or anything. It's just, it sounded really good. Hey, Nico, when you live with Buzz, did he ever do the risky business dance like Tom Cruise?
Yeah, kind of.
All right, guys, I love you guys. You guys have a good day. Later.
When I lived with Buzz would take it as an opportunity
to me slide across the floor.
Yeah. Well, he would wear his underwear, I guess.
What would I do?
But really, you would use me living there as just an opportunity to perform in front of having some type of captive audience. So Buzz would come out in like a weird robe and a fez and glasses. Like he had costumes basically he would change into.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I've seen the costumes.
Yeah,
yes.
Thank you very much, Joanna. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
That does not ring any bells with me.
That totally sounds like something you would do.
Like just random fez, random this.
Yo, so...
this is Stoner Guy, and he's still trying to explain this TV show or movie that he saw part of.
Or video games, or Dream. We don't know what this is from at this point.
I didn't see your message till later, but y'all want another description of the movie.
Yes.
All right. So somebody wakes up, like after they're dead, digs themselves out of the ground, and they see a mentor or whatever, someone that tells them that this is how it's going to be now. And at some point, there's a crematorium scene, and the mentor goes, I told her not to be cremated when she dies. And the other person says, why? And it's because, he says, because it hurts like hell.
God, it would really help if there were one actor whose name you recognized.
And the dead can hear her screaming in there as she's being burned, but the living can't hear it. And they can't see each other. The dead can't see the dead can see the living, but the living can't see the dead.
Is it Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore in Ghost?
Oh my God.
What if that was it?
Is there a cremation scene in Ghost?
It's been so long.
I've never
since I've seen
Ghost.
I try to look up that line. I told her not to be cremated because it hurts like hell.
Did it turn up anything?
There's a lot of poems about death.
And something at some point happens to where either the living know about this and they put cement on a grave, and someone that, when they wake up, they can't get out.
Wait a minute. So is it zombies or is it ghosts? You said that people can't see the dead, which makes me think it's ghost. You know what? If this does not exist, I'm writing the script.
I know that happens, but yeah, I really don't know. I don't get hung up on the word zombies, purgatory,
okay,
afterlife, heaven and hell. Like, this is something else, and I hope it's not just a dream. And
oh my God,
okay,
Stoner
wait a minute.
Guy.
Stoner Guy, for the first time, has acknowledged that maybe he had a dream about all this stuff happening.
And if I could figure out an actor or anything like that, I feel like I could figure out what it is, but I just can't figure out, who's in it and, what else happens.
Okay. So we're kind of stuck there. Somebody else has a suggestion.
The guy might be thinking of maybe the third episode of Stephen Moffat's Netflix version of Dracula.
No.
Dracula.
People have suggested
We've
that.
already suggested
Yeah.
that, and Stoner Guy said
So
it's not Dracula.
He went and checked it out.
Yeah.
And said it's not that.
Dracula comes to the modern day. He gets another familiar, and she is killed, and she gets cremated.
Okay.
Stoner Guy, if you're listening, I'm going to suggest a movie. It's called Afterlife with Christina Ricci and Liam Neeson.
Yes, that's what Lizzie's asking in the fan chat. I mean, the app chat. She says, ask Stoner Guy if it's the one with Liam Neeson.
What year did that come out?
But
I never
in
heard of that.
In that one, she's dead. And he's like the...
What if it turns out to be something really dumb like R.I.P.D.? Do you remember that? It was supposed to be like a
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
and,
I never saw that one.
Wait, Joanna, go on. You were saying how
So Christina Ricci's dead, but she I guess like Liam Neeson plays the morgue guy.
The morgue attendant?
The
Or the
mortician.
mortician?
And he's telling her, like, this is how life is going to be now. You're dead, blah, blah, blah. And they're in a funeral home the whole time.
Wait, is Liam Neeson's character a ghost as well?
That's what you think also.
Huh.
It's a real mind F. Like,
I told her
'cause
not
at
to
one
get cremated.
point- yeah, at one point you're like, is she really dead or not?
What decade did that come out in?
I will find out.
And it's pretty good. It's pretty disturbing. I think maybe that's what the guy is referencing.
2010.
Anyway.
Thank you for calling.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
but
seriously.
He said specifically that it's not
Yeah, because
Dracula,
we
but-
all kept saying Dracula, and he did confirm it's not that.
But once again, I do want to point out it could have been his imagination.
It is a
I
possibility.
like
It is a
how he's also
possibility.
like, I don't know if it was a dream.
Good morning, Buzz. Good morning, Nico. Good morning,
Hey.
Joanna. Was I the only one that caught Nico admitted that he's bald and that he hatfishes girls? That's awesome. Have a great day, guys.
I do
Bye.
not hatfish anybody.
That's awesome.
I said I'm aware of the hatfishing phenomenon. All my pictures on my social media don't even have me in hats. I'm not.
That's
I'm not.
awesome.
I'm not really a hat guy. I've just been
I
doing
think
it
you
lately.
should be a hat guy. The hats you've been wearing have been
No, you
very
said-
my grandma and my grandpa have been buying me like hats from Marshalls and stuff, and like I get like a delivery every week
Of a hat.
of a type of hat. And they're these flat caps and they're newer. I don't know.
I think they look really good on you.
Yeah.
You should keep that up. That should be your thing.
This one today doesn't look great.
Well, because he still has the tag on it.
No, it doesn't
it's not
fit
gonna
my
look good
head.
no matter what.
It doesn't fit my head.
It's so flat, it looks like somebody's wearing a pancake. All you need to do is put some butter.
You
and
could say the
syrup
same
on that.
thing.
That because it's pancake colored.
I said the same thing about your mom.
Get a little.
Children. I work with a child.
It's the Hollywood Cheese Man. It's the Hollywood Cheese Man. Joanna, tell us more.
All right. Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning. The MTV Movie and TV Awards is taking another break. Variety has confirmed that the event, which would normally take place around this time of year, will instead sit 2024 out with an eye toward returning next year, perhaps in a different, reimagined format. Last year's event was forced to pivot to a pre-taped clip show in light of the Hollywood writers' strike as host Drew Barrymore bowed out and the WGA announced plans to picket the ceremony. In 2020, the MTV Movie and TV Awards also didn't take place, in part due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but also because the network had planned to move the award show, which usually was a spring/early summer staple, to December. Ultimately, instead of an awards show, MTV ran a MTV Movie and TV Awards Greatest of All Time special. There's no word on why the MTV Movie and TV Awards is taking this year off, but obviously the news comes as the fate of parent Paramount Global is currently in limbo. Marvel alleges an Instagram user illegally posted an image from the unreleased Captain America Brave New World movie, and it's gone to court to try to make Instagram disclose the identity of the account's operator. Marvel filed a subpoena request in California asking the court to order Instagram to identify the person or people behind the account at Can We Get Some Toast? Marvel alleged that the account published a copyrighted image from the upcoming Marvel Studios motion picture Captain America Brave New World without authorization. The Disney-owned studio is seeking the subpoenas pursuant to the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. The anonymous user or users behind at Can We Get Some Toast Instagram last year had also correctly revealed that the fourth Captain America movie would be retitled to Captain America Brave New World 1 month before the change was announced.
Ooh. There's a mole.
It sounds like they've got a rat.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there was recently a different kind of leak for Brave New World after a McDonald's toy line for the film revealed a key spoiler 10 months before the movie's scheduled debut. Captain America Brave New World is slated to premiere on February 14th, 2025. Anthony Mackie is back in the role of Samuel Wilson / Captain America alongside Harrison Ford as Thaddeus Ross.
So, you know...
Thunderbolt Ross. They call me Thunderbolt.
You know that they just recently announced that Marvel's going to do only about 2 movies a year and less TV series.
Quality over quantity.
Right. Well, CEO Bob Iger, who returned to the CEO position at Disney about 1 year ago, his first question to Kevin Feige upon returning was, Kevin Feige's in charge of Marvel.
Why is so much sucky stuff?
No. Why do you need to do multiple movies with the same characters?
Bob Iger said that.
It makes sense. Why are there 4 Iron Men? Why are there 5 Captain Americas? Why are there 6 Hulks?
Hey, those Captain America movies were all good.
Get new characters, new movies.
It's a franchise. People
want to see the next move
People want to
for
see what happens to their character.
Well, eventually they suck and everybody hates them.
The Mission Impossible movies have just gotten better over the years.
Okay. It was a valid question. When you have a Marvel, a comic book company with thousands of characters that they could, dive into, why don't you?
Good point. Superhero fatigue, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Well, that might have been a way to help the superhero fatigue. It's like, oh, yeah, well, we're not having multiple movies of the same guys you've been seeing for the past 10 years.
You don't have to watch like 8 million movies before to understand
the next one. Exactly.
God.
Isn't that terrible?
You notice every time we get a Fantastic Four movie, it's an origin story because they just have to keep pushing the reset button every time.
Like, did they, you know what, maybe let's take Iron Man, let's take Captain America and Thor.
What's that movie, Buzz?
Leave them aside.
The Marvels?
The Marvels.
Buzz and I went to see it at Alamo, and you know how they do that thing before the movie where they kind of do a recap? Even the guy doing the recap sounded...
it's like, wait a minute, who is this guy?
Yeah, it sounded confused and just like already over it.
Do we need 3 Eternals movies? Do we need 4 Ant-Man movies?
We didn't need 1 Eternals movie.
So I think that's what the thinking was that Bob Iger was saying, is can you start doing like some standalone good movies and not...
Can you stop sucking?
Yeah, stop sucking and trying to set up each franchise run with each movie and just make one good movie.
I'm glad they made all the Captain Americas. I thought they were all real solid. I liked all the Iron Man.
You liked all of them?
Yeah, nobody even really the one with hates Iron Man.
Even the one with the Mandarin.
There was definitely some good action scenes in it. To varying degrees. Yeah, I liked all 3 of the Iron Man.
All the Thors.
No. No. Ragnarok, yes.
Ragnarok was real good.
Maybe the first one and the third one, and then the other 2 were garbage. So this Dark World and I don't know, Love and Rainbows. Love and Thunder.
Love and Goats.
It was awful.
No. Moving on. Variety reports Ellen DeGeneres will appear in her final stand-up special and a second for Netflix later this year. DeGeneres said in a statement, quote, To answer the questions everyone is asking me, yes, I'm going to talk about it. Apparently referring to her controversial exit from her popular daytime talk show in 2022 amid allegations of a toxic workplace. DeGeneres continued saying, quote, yes, this is my last special. Yes, Portia really is that really pretty in real life. DeGeneres will also launch a multiple city stand-up tour in San Diego, June 19th.
I kind of didn't like what she's in one of her stand-up shows. I guess she was trying to be like, oh, I'm the person known for the good vibes, be happy motto. What was her catchphrase? It was like, be happy or something.
Yeah, just keep swimming.
Yeah. And I don't know. It just seemed like she wasn't very remorseful.
You're not really that happy.
Well, then she said, what did you want me to be? The mean bitch lady that was going to be mean?
Or admit that you're the mean bitch lady.
Yeah. Don't make a brand fully around how nice you are and then don't be nice.
And then, you're not nice.
It sounds like she's not sorry in her stand-up, at least.
Sorry, not sorry. Finally, Homer Simpson and Peter Griffin have been Sunday night fixtures on Fox for nearly 20 years, but that streak is about to end. The Simpsons isn't going anywhere, but Family Guy has been shuffled to Wednesday night with a mid-season debut scheduled for 2025.
So they're not going to have new Family Guys in the fall.
Not until next year. That's right.
And it'll move to Wednesday.
And it'll be moving to Wednesday night. Fox CEO Rob Wade explained, saying, quote, we talk a lot about looking at the schedule in a more modern way, and rather than looking simply at the traditional time slots of shows, we look at our entire portfolio. We also think about Hulu and how it would work best for them. Scheduling has changed significantly over the years, and we approach it in a different way now.
Okay.
Interesting.
I think, is this a way of saying, look, Family Guy ran out of joke ideas years ago. That's why they show you 5 minutes of Conway Twitty.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr.
Conway Twitty. Or the chicken fight.
They have done every...
Chicken fight. I could do without a chicken fight.
Yeah. I could do without half an episode of the chicken fight.
Right.
Even the most ardent Family Guy fans will tell you that there are some things on Family Guy that they just don't need any more of. Mm-hmm. And I think they've done every possible cutaway gag that could possibly be done.
It's their thing.
Well, with your entertainment news, I'm Joanna Barba.
Woo! Nico's going to have the news on the way in just a few minutes. And he also has...
I have an Am I the A-hole submitted by a listener.
Yeah, from our listening audience.
Yes.
Somebody wants to know if they are the a-hole.
Well, okay, so they sent me this and they said, something similar, almost exactly happened to me. And it's not exactly his, but he kind of sent me this other...
Oh, interesting.
Let me give you the working title. Am I the a-hole for honking at a guy walking in the middle of the street while I was waiting to turn?
Honking at a guy walking in the middle of the street?
While I was waiting to turn into my driveway.
Oh, into his driveway. Hurry up, I need to get home.
I guess that's an important part.
If I were going to honk at somebody, I wouldn't do it where they can then see me pull in and see where I live.
Yeah. That's funny, though.
All right.
Honk. And it's their own driveway.
Hey, Joanna puts together for us every morning the late night roundup because we realize... you're like us. You get up early in the morning. You don't have a lot of time to stay up late watching TV. So we got a recap of highlights and funniest moments from late night television.
Welcome.
Here we go.
Apparently, Oscar Mayer could be sold for up to $5 billion. Ooh. Yeah. Which means somewhere there's a heated negotiation that includes the word Wienermobile.
A zoo in China is facing criticism for displaying dogs that were painted to resemble pandas in a panda exhibit. And you could tell right away they weren't pandas because they were constantly humping.
Well, this is going viral here in New York City. An elevator security camera caught a delivery driver eating toppings off someone's Papa John's pizza. It's never good when you answer the door and the delivery guy's chewing. You know what I'm saying?
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday,
$5 a month. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Video may be limited to SD. Fees may apply. Terms and restrictions apply. Subject to change. See store for details.
Local and loco.
Don't you know I'm loco?
The Buzz Adams Morning Show. 95.5 KLAQ.
All right, we're about to delve into the news. Nico Jimian has our news headlines. Then I do want to get to that Am I the a-hole question from a listener. So we'll do that here in the 8 o'clock hour, too.
We have a neckline call about my hats. I'm wearing a hat today. I've been wearing hats, kind of different ones. Like yesterday, I was wearing like a gardening hat.
I'm not sure you're a hat guy, man.
Well, I don't know. What does that mean? People tell me I look good in the hat.
He does.
Yeah. Are you just doing that to be a jerk?
Nope.
Joanna, do you think he's just doing it to be a jerk?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too.
Morning, Buzz. Morning, Joanna. Hey, Joanna.
Yeah.
Poor Nico. His abuelitos have been trying to give him a hint. Like, Neil, you need to cover that up, dog. It don't look good. So they sent him hats, and he's not getting the hint. Wear the hats, Nico. You should probably do like fedoras. It looks cool. You'd be like it. Have a great day, guys. Bye.
Fedora? I would be like it.
It?
You would be like, what?
He said I should wear fedoras.
The famous fedoras. I don't remember it wearing a fedora, but Indiana Jones and Freddy Krueger. Somebody thinks they've figured out what Stoner Guy's movie, TV show, video game scene, or possibly a nightmare. They think they know what it is.
We have to solve this.
Hey there. I was just listening to your Stoner Guys movie you signed, and I just asked ChatGPT. There's a show called 6 Feet Under, HBO from 2001. Apparently, season 4, episode 1 has that crematorium scene they're talking about. Check that one out. Bye.
All right, Stoner Guy, you're going to have to go check it out. Did you ever watch 6 Feet Under? I was aware of it, but I never watched.
So long.
It was always weird.
It was weird.
Why was it called 6 Feet Under?
It was about a mortuary.
They're a family of morticians.
Mhm.
They own a funeral home.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
But I don't think there was ever a scene where one of them is like literally coming out from the grave.
they get into hijinks. It's not a happy show, right, Joanna?
It's a comedy. I thought it was a comedy.
dramedy, if you will.
Somebody else just called in and says they know what Stoner Guy's talking about.
Hey, morning show. So my husband apparently knows the TV show that Stoner Guy is talking about. So no, he didn't have a dream about it. And another thing he said is that he shouldn't be watching those kind of movies when he's stoned. But the name of this show is called Dracula 2020. If you look up on Google Dracula 2020 Lucy, it'll pop up. Like, you can see the scene where she's getting cremated. You can see the scene of like after, how she looks after. But yeah, so Stoner Guy doesn't freak out that it's just a dream. It was not a dream. All right. Bye, guys.
Thank you. I've already looking this up.
All right. Is there a scene in this Dracula where she's undigging herself from a grave?
People have been bringing up Dracula before, and I thought he said no to that.
I thought, yeah.
In our app chat, people are also throwing out other things. Robbie says it's Haunting of Hill House. I don't think so. I think I saw that. I don't remember that
I
scene.
don't remember there being a scene where they dig themselves out. That's one that I'm really sticking to. Like, I got to find this scene where they're digging themselves out.
Matt says it's called the Mandela Effect. Must have been a movie in another world we live in.
Yeah. Starring Sinbad.
Because I remember it, but I can't find anything about it anywhere.
Listen.
5 Points guy says Buzz doesn't look good in a hat.
Buzz doesn't look good in a hat?
Yeah.
Savage.
Okay. Let's go ahead and get to the news. Okay?
Let's do it.
All right. Time for news headlines.
Oh, hell yeah. And all of it is good. Oh, yeah. And the weather's good.
Good morning. It's
Nice to see you all again.
Oh, my. All right, time for our top stories of the day with your news. Here's Nico and Jimmy. Good morning, Nico.
Good morning, Buzz. Good morning, Joanna. Good morning. Let's start with the heavy stuff and get to the fun stuff. Day 17 of the hush money criminal fraud trial of former President Donald Trump in New York City will feature the second part of his former attorney's testimony. Michael Cohen testified yesterday about his part in the payment made to keep the Stormy Daniels story out of the press before the 2016 presidential election. During his testimony, Cohen claimed that Trump directed him to just take care of the payment to silence Daniels, approved the final deal, and signed off on a reimbursement plan. Trump's former fixer also said in court that the purpose of the scheme was to protect Trump's political fortunes. Cohen also revealed that he secretly recorded some conversations with Trump about the arrangements, and his return to the witness stand today will most likely include questions from the prosecution about the invoices and checks he received. Cohen will most likely be cross-examined by a member of Trump's legal team today, a process that could see tempers flare in the courtroom. Here is, let me see, Michael Cohen talking about...
This is audio from 2016 that had been previously
talking
released.
about a secret
He was
payment.
recording, which is weird, isn't it? That a lawyer would be recording his own client over something like that?
Not somebody that's doing illegal stuff.
You think he recorded it
If
because
you're
it's
doing-
like, hey, if they ever come back and say that
Yeah, if
that
you-
I did this on my own, I have
If
proof.
you know you're doing illegal stuff, then I think recording is probably the best defense you can
the
make.
recording didn't keep him from going to prison because Michael Cohen definitely went to prison.
When it comes time for the financing, which will be, listen, what financing? We'll have to pay you. So
Listen to that again. When it comes time to this is all mob speak, because it's all like the financing, right?
I need you to take care of the thing. I need the financing for the guy.
You mean the bribe? The bribe for the
No. The thing.
when it comes time for the financing, which will be, listen, what financing? We'll have to pay you. So
What finance? And then you hear Trump say, we'll just do cash. A loud boom near the port of Baltimore yesterday signaled significant progress in clearing the waterway leading to the port. The container ship Dali was freed yesterday by precision explosive charges that dismantled the span of the Francis Scott Key Bridge that collapsed onto the ship in March after the Dali struck it. Now that the steel has been cleared, officials announced yesterday that the Dali will be refloated as soon as tomorrow and move back to port, with a channel of 50 feet deep and 750 wide expected to be open for use by the end of the month. When the Dali returns to port, it'll give the crew members their first chance to leave the ship. The first chance, Buzz.
Come on, they've got to let him go on a brief shore leave.
When the Dali returns to port, it'll give the crew members their first chance to leave the ship. The 21-member crew has remained on board the ship ever since the accident. And
what was that, like a month ago?
In March. It was almost a month and a half.
Okay. They don't even let them off the boat?
And they were on the ship during the use of the explosives yesterday. Coast Guard Captain David O'Donnell told the press that the blast went according to plan and no injuries were recorded. Here is Colonel Esty Pinashin of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers explaining the process used to break away the parts of the bridge that were on the ship. So precision job.
These are very small linear charges that are placed into cuts that were made, as the governor showed, and they are... It is going to allow for the pressure from those cuts to literally separate the metal and cut through the steel.
Here is the sound. U.S. Coast Guard Rear Admiral Shannon Gilreath explained about the crew's situation.
They're staying on board because they're part of the ship. They are necessary to keep the ship safe and operational. If something were to happen, they are in the best place to actually fight a fire on board the ship because they're familiar with it. They're familiar with all of their safety equipment.
And Maryland Governor Wes Moore talked about what are the next steps.
After we have the refloating of the Dali, at that point is when it's going to be returned back to port, and then they'll be able to both get the cargo, get the other remaining containers off of the ship, and then also at that point is when the members of the Dali will have a chance to offboard.
Maybe you're right.
I mean, they probably bring food to them and stuff. I hope.
I don't know. Does Uber have jet skis?
Well, Melinda.
That's an interesting question. Places where there are a lot of boats, like in Florida, people keep their boats docked. I wonder if you get food delivered.
Uber skis? I don't know. Probably a drone. They have a drone delivery at this point.
Yeah.
Melinda French Gates, the ex-wife of Microsoft founder Bill Gates, announced yesterday that she's stepping down as co-chair of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Wow, it's not going to sound the same. Posting on X, she said, "I am immensely proud of the foundation that Bill and I built together and of the extraordinary work it is doing to address inequities around the world. As part of an agreement with Bill, Melinda will receive $12.5 billion she says will be committed to work focused on women and families." Bill thanked Melinda for her work and said, "I am sorry to see her leave, but I am sure she will have a huge impact in her future philanthropic work." And yes, they're changing the name to just the Gates Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
What were you going to say? I saw you rearing.
Somebody sent a scene from this Dracula 2020, and there's a scene in there that looks kind of like, it says here, So I guess this was a BBC production.
Can I get through a couple more stories first?
Buzz is so distracted with this, though. Let him get through it, because then he'll not get over it.
It says about this scene, and Joy and I haven't previewed it, so...
Oh, God.
Count Dracula revealed in the final episode of BBC's Dracula that teenager Lucy Westenra was his bride before she was cremated while still alive, causing her to have a breakdown when she discovers her true form.
Listen!
Again, I have not previewed this.
You're my finest bride yet. In 500 years, you were the only one who willingly opened up her veins.
Oh.
You knew what was happening. You embraced it. You accepted it. Now you can live forever.
Dennis! Let me!
I don't mind.
Is that Dracula?
I don't know. I would assume.
I mean, he was dark and swarthy and handsome. I think that's Dracula's MO.
Do you
God, it would help if Stoner Guy knew. Did they have accents in this?
Right. Did they have British accents? Help us out, Stoner Guy.
I think the movie's called Mandela Effect. That was great.
All right, I'm sorry. Back to your news.
See, now you can continue.
Getting a one-day jump on today's Google I.O. event, OpenAI announced a new version of ChatGPT yesterday.
Cool.
ChatGPT 4.0 will roll, and I mean O as in the letter, will roll out to users over the next few weeks, and it seems to be an impressive leap forward in the AI. The new model can understand visual input from users from their cameras.
Dude, I keep so when I do I play this word scramble game.
It's called a crossword puzzle.
No, it is sort of
crossword puzzle.
But after every puzzle you got to watch an ad, and they got one where you just point your camera. You don't even have to take the picture. You point your camera at a plant, and it will analyze it. It'll tell you what kind of plant it is and what it needs. So in the example they give in the commercial, it's like add coffee grounds, and then it shows the plant like thriving. So I guess that's pretty cool, right?
Buzz is all technology.
Yeah. Woo! Woo!
What kind of magic is this?
The new model can understand visual input from users from their cameras. And this includes not just the cameras on your phone, but the cameras on your computer. They can also understand uploaded documents or through sharing of screens, all while talking to the AI model as if it were a video call. And yes, those who have previewed the new model says it's much closer to talking to a real human in the speed and content of its responses. While it'll be weeks before ChatGPT-O is rolled out to all users, some accounts already have access. Like other editions, this one is free.
You have been using ChatGPT, haven't you?
I have.
Would you ask ChatGPT,
I use it.
hey, what movie or TV show had a scene where a guy's in a crematorium and this lady gets cremated?
ChatGPT.
Somebody already did this, and it came out with
Dracula 2020?
No, it came out with
nothing.
The HBO show about the mortuary.
6 Feet Under.
6 Feet Under. Season 4, episode 1. Did you play that? I thought you played that.
The Call, yeah.
Yeah. All right, moving on.
I'm asking ChatGPT.
A bill was signed into law yesterday by Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves that bars transgender people from using bathrooms that match their gender identities in the state's public bathrooms. In the public schools. The Securing Areas for Females Effectively and Responsibility Act, shortened to the SAFER Act, makes it law that the state's schools have single-sex restrooms, changing rooms, and dormitories, and defines somebody's sex as determined solely by birth. The law went into effect immediately, making Mississippi the 12th state to pass such laws. And some days you just can't give away a crown. After Miss USA resigned at the start of last week, Miss Teen USA decided to give up her crown as well. While the runner-up for the Miss USA title accepted the crown as a replacement title holder, the runner-up for Miss Teen USA, New York's Stephanie Skinner, announced yesterday that she was turning the honor down. Skinner said she was turning it down because of a commitment she made to a global research career opportunity in Thailand that will keep her out of country for the summer. The search for a Miss Teen USA continues with one new development. The CW network says it's evaluating its relationship with both pageants and is reconsidering airing the pageant. What is going on?
What is the deal
with the pageants? And in an this is going to be my final story. Well, maybe two more. In an S Creek situation.
S Creek?
Yes.
The TV show?
Yes.
Okay. Somebody
needs to get Johnny Rose on the phone. A California town is currently for sale for $6.6 million. The town of Campo in San Diego County has around 150 residents, and what's up for sale includes 21 residential buildings and 7 commercial buildings. Listing agent Joseph Barella says they're crossing their fingers for a good owner, somebody who wants to invest in their community, with a wish list for residents including a gym and a daycare. Up until now, the town has been owned by Las Vegas investor John Ray. When Ray was asked why he originally bought the town, he said, "Why do I buy anything? I don't know. To make a profit, I guess."
As a funny gift to my son.
Yep. Strong S Creek vibes here.
For sure.
And finally, Gayle King was surprised on CBS Mornings with a surprise of her own. She's on one of the covers for the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition.
Gayle King is.
Yeah.
Remember when they put athletes and like models and stuff in swimsuits?
Move over. The cover was revealed to her for the first time this morning. As you can imagine, she shrieked. Supermodels Kate Upton and Hunter McGrady helped with the reveal as they launched the 60th anniversary celebration of the swimsuit edition.
So it's the 60th anniversary. Do you have to have a 60-year-old doing it?
I guess so.
Kate Upton. Now we're talking, but
that's kind of even worse to have like these pretty models kind of presented to you.
Right.
Now with your news, I'm Nico.
All right. Thank you, Nico. We have a lot coming up, so you're going to tell us more about today's Am I the A-hole scenario when we return.
Yes.
All right. Have that coming up, and this is from a listener. All right.
The Daily Calendar.
Today, May 14.
Fur babies, unite. It's Bond with Your Dog Day. Good boy. Also International Chihuahua Day and Decency Day, and that sounds decent. It's Online Romance Day, so it's also probably Catfish Day. Ooh, and it's Spinal Cord Injury Day, but don't get any bright ideas. Happy birthday, Star Wars Chief George Lucas, actress Cate Blanchett, Meta's Mark Zuckerberg, and Dan Arbach of the Black Keys.
And that's your Daily Calendar.
While you're working away, we're working for you. Our job starting at 10.
The Speaking Rock out Saturday, May 18. Ages 21 and above. See Speaking Rock's Facebook for more info.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Inderman Personal Injury Lawyers. At GVILaw.com.
All right, coming up, I've got look at the good news, bad news of the week. We'll review some noteworthy stories. Some of them have been in the news, and we will look on both the positive and negative side. The good news as well as the bad news is coming up here in just a few moments. You ready to tell us a little bit more about our Am I the A-hole for today?
Sure. This was suggested to me by a listener who said, I have... All right. Am I the a-hole for honking at a guy walking in the middle of the street while I was waiting to turn into my driveway?
Is that it?
That's it.
That's it?
Oh, no, I have a story.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you were waiting to get into your driveway, it seems like you could roll down the window and say, hey, sir, I need to turn here. Do you mind?
Right.
Using the horn seems a little rude, especially if the person knows where you live.
Do you want to get into it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I live on a corner lot and made a right turn into my street and was about to immediately then turn into my driveway when I noticed a guy walking in the middle of the street, looking down at his phone, wearing earbuds, and about to walk straight into my car. Fortunately, I was pretty much at a dead stop, just waiting for him to look up. When I realized he wasn't going to look up, I honked. And then he did look up, and he got pissed at me. No words were exchanged, but I could tell that he wanted to say something. A few minutes later, I was outside watering, and he came back from his walk, and when he got close enough to me, he made a point to tell me I was an a-hole for honking at him. We argued for a bit, and then I told him to walk away and said he should be glad I didn't hit him. Am I the a-hole for honking?
No, because if the guy had earbuds in.
Yeah, that dude was just blindly walking in the middle of the street.
It's dangerous to walk on the sidewalk with your head down in your phone and your earbuds in.
Devil's advocate here.
In your street.
I see a lot of people walking with their heads in their phone and wearing their earbuds. If you had just waited 2 seconds, would the gentleman have continued to walk?
What would have happened had he not?
Was he crossing your path or walking straight toward you? You said he was walking in the street.
Eventually, he would hit your car.
Right.
Or move on, right?
Yeah, I wonder if you didn't honk and then he walked into your car, he might have been mad that you didn't honk.
Why didn't you honk at me?
Heads up over here. I don't think I'm having trouble picturing the scenario here.
Let's say corner lot, you're turning right and then another right into the driveway.
Okay. Yeah, but the guy was walking. He wasn't standing still, right?
It sounds like no.
Like he was walking.
Like he was walking. He was not standing still.
But he was lost in his
phone, which I feel like is pretty typical. Have you
get your head out, get your head up and look around and be aware of your circumstances.
Steven in our fan chat says, not the a-hole, get your nose out of the phone. Yeah. That was a little loud, sorry.
Yeah, what would have happened if he didn't honk? Maybe he was just like mad because the honk scared him.
Have you guys seen the Apple Vision Pro, the thing that you wear around your... Have you seen it, Joanna?
Yeah.
Have you seen like the TikToks or the videos of people just walking around?
Yeah.
And it's like augmented reality, like it puts up things around you.
Like what? Like Pokemons? Like what? Does it identify what kind of tree that is?
And then whether to put coffee grounds in it. Sure, yeah. Yeah, it can look at plants and tell you which one it is and what problems it's having. Anyways, people are going to walk around with these things, these augmented reality.
You can see your surroundings through them?
You kind of can. And people are saying it's dangerous for people to be wearing these Apple Vision Pros constantly.
Well, yeah, don't go out into like traffic wearing them.
And there have been instances of people just wiring them everywhere they go and kind of being oblivious to
Do they look like an Oculus? Are they that big?
Kind of, but you can see out.
You can see through it.
Yeah. So,
I think the mistake here was honking at somebody and then immediately turning into your driveway. So
Oh, yeah, because then the dude came back. Now
now he knows you live
where
there.
you live.
Every time he passes by there, there's
He can say, that a-hole guy.
honked at me.
I guess what I was bringing up
I
was
would tell the dude, what were you doing when he honked at you? Walking? Well, what else were you doing? I was out looking at my phone.
Yeah.
And I had my earbuds in.
Well, that's my point. Is if we're going to have to get used to a society where people are wearing Apple Vision Pros around their head,
Give a honk.
yeah, is the
Don't
honk
run
a standard
over people,
thing?
just honk. Just give a nice ha.
Maybe we'll just have to get used to it, or maybe pedestrians, maybe drivers will have to, say, oh, that person has something on their head, I got to let them through or whatever.
Or maybe we'll just let evolution take its course.
Yeah.
Only the strong will survive.
Yeah, good morning. This is Wolf Hunter 55. I'm calling because you guys were talking about Beastie Boys and Kerry King earlier. I called in, and Joanna, or whoever was taking the calls, hung up on me. Not cool.
Oh, Joanna.
I have never hung up on anyone. Well, one time. She was mean.
Anyways, just to let you know, Kerry King is tied with the Beastie Boys because of producer Rick Rubin. He's the one that signed the Beastie Boys back in the day to his label with Russell Simmons, Def Jam, and he also produced Slayer albums. And also, Beastie Boys did start off as a punk band. They were originally a punk band. They play all instruments. And they went to rap.
A few people called in to say, yeah, the Beastie Boys do play instruments.
Oh, actually, I have this one here.
I did not hang up on anyone today.
What happened to this guy? Do you think he called?
I answered one Beastie Boys call, and the guy did say, oh, they were in a punk band. But he hung up.
He hung up. You didn't hang up on him.
I mean, it could have been a different guy. I don't think it was this guy.
Oh, okay.
Joanna definitely does not hang up on people. I've seen her in the room.
Thank you.
Unless she really hates them.
That one time, that lady was mean.
Hey, Buzz. Hey, Nico. Beastie Boys actually started off as a punk rock band. I think they tried the rap thing, which was, budding during their time, and it hit. But, yeah, they were a punk rock band. If you look back on YouTube, you'll find some of the, I think their first performance ever on live TV was a punk rock performance. Anyways, have a great day, guys. Bye.
See, I was asking, is Beastie Band a rap group or a band?
What are they?
Beastie Boys.
Didn't I say Beastie Boys?
I'm not Beastie Band.
Beastie Band? Sorry.
I don't know. When that song, when Fight for Your Right to Party came out, I really thought, man, music has really hit a low point.
You did, really?
That was my attitude the first time I heard Fight for Your Right to Party. It was like,
wow, this is so dumb. Music has gotten so low.
I was a big fan of John Lennon and
these lyricists,
the Bob Dylan, and
music genius.
And I was like, people used to really sing about important issues, and people in my generation, all they want to do is fight for their right to party.
And now, what is your evaluation of the song?
You want to fight for your right to party, don't you?
You do have to fight for your right to party. I found, through tough experience, I have found that you sometimes you got to fight for your right to party. It's absolutely true. Let's take a look at the good news, bad news. This is a semi-weekly segment where we look at both the positive side of stories and the negative side. So the yin and the yang, the dark cloud. But behind every dark cloud, there's always a silver lining. That's what they say anyway. Here's the good news, bad news of the week.
Oh, good news.
Good news for some of you short kings out there.
All right, short kings.
A study found that men who are 5 foot 2 inches and shorter live longer.
Really?
Oh, good.
Oh, bad news.
But why would you want to?
Good news.
82-year-old Senator Bernie Sanders is running for a fourth term.
Wow.
At the age of 82.
Wow.
What's the bad to that?
Okay, fine this time, but after that, the only thing Bernie is going to be running for is to get away from the Grim Reaper. Let's face it. Bad news with a question mark?
Okay.
Donald Trump's social media site, Truth Social, lost $58 million last year.
Oh, man. Oh, no. The good news,
Trump supporters still have a way to communicate with each other.
Oh.
Banging on the bars of their jail cells.
I like that one. That one's pretty good.
And bad news, beloved TV star Tom Selleck says the ending of Blue Bloods might cause him to lose his California ranch.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What's good about that?
Sounds like somebody could use a totally risk-free reverse mortgage, if you ask me.
This isn't my first rodeo. And let me tell you something. A reverse mortgage loan isn't some kind of trick to take your home. It's a trick to take your home, like any other. The big difference is I get your home. It's just a loan designed to take your home. With a reverse mortgage, you can pay whatever you can, or you can leave your home. The American dream. If you've had your home for a while, it's probably worth nothing. So, why not give me your home?
Hey, it's Double G. Coming up after the Buzz Adams Morning Show.
At Total by Verizon rate when you activate without a pay plus taxes and fees. Discount begins the month after you enroll. Additional terms apply. See website for data management practices.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a Town Square media station.
I noticed the light is beeping. That means we have a call on the VIP neckline. You never know who could be calling the VIP neckline.
Our VIP? We got a VIP?
Yeah.
Good morning, Buzz. This is Donald J. Trump calling. I was in El Paso recently, and I was just standing in the middle of the street, and some a-hole drove up and honked at me for absolutely no reason. I was looking up at the sky, trying to see the northern lights, and some rude guy interrupted me.
Yo, morning show. I'm glad Kyle Rittenhouse went down there to visit, and he's campaigning over there in El Paso.
Do you remember the story from last week?
Yeah. He was
Kyle Rittenhouse was in El Paso campaigning for the guy who's running against
Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Brandon Herrera, the YouTube.
The gun guy.
Mr. AK.
To me, the man is a hero. He killed these disgusting, ruthless, terrorist, criminal rioters. He killed 2 and injured another. The only thing is, unfortunate, he didn't get all 3 of them. But
wow.
That's how I feel about any sort of criminal or terrorist, especially if it's violence.
I hate violence,
right.
And I love people who kill people that do violence.
So you should also say that Capitol Police are heroes for killing Ashley Bobbitt, right?
And so, yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse is a hero in my book. All right. You have a good morning show. God bless you.
You know, the first guy who got shot was chasing him because I think he saw this, like, baby-faced kid, and he was still in high school, Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
And that guy was taking issue with him and started chasing him. But then the other 2, after that, shots had been fired, and the word was going around, hey, somebody's shooting people. These other people that got shot, they don't know the full story of what's going on. They just know that somebody shot somebody, and they're trying to disarm the gunman when they got shot by this guy.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you're saying you hate violence, but you consider Kyle Rittenhouse
a hero.
How did your parent or parents let you out of the house if you're a high school senior and you're like, I'm going to go over where I know there's going to be this riot
and I'm going to take my gun.
I'm going to take my gun.
I'm actively going to go to a dangerous situation with a dangerous weapon to make it even more dangerous.
What kind of responsible parent would allow their child to leave the house? Also, the adults down there, when the kid shows up, is like, I want to protect all these businesses from these rioters. How do you not tell this 17-year-old, get out of here, you're just making yourself a target by waving your gun around? But I guess there are people that consider I consider Kyle Rittenhouse a tragedy. Don't you?
Sure. I mean, he's developed a persona. He's now highly vetted on the right wing. He comes to things to campaign for. Right. I mean, if you had to ask, why is Kyle Rittenhouse in El Paso, and there was like a bio of Kyle Rittenhouse, it wouldn't say motivational speaker known. It would be
killed a bunch
of guys, got off for it. That's his qualifications. So yeah, that is kind of tragic when that's really what all your life is being peddled on from now
on. Is this a call from yesterday? Let me see.
Good morning show. Hey, this is Bodie. A few days ago, you guys were talking about something like I think it was like lies that parents told you that ended up being lies. I don't know. Anyway.
Did we do a topic of lies that our parents told us? Yeah, we did last week.
Like, don't turn the dome light on. It's illegal.
It's illegal to have the interior lights of
your car.
Moving vehicle on.
Well, I remember hearing when I was a kid that marijuana would kill your brain cells. And did some deep research into it, and then I guess you guys should too. And not just YouTube, I mean like on books and stuff. And it seems like it's a lie. I don't know. And then another thing, this is kind of out of the subject, but something that I wanted your take on. The president of Israel, what's his name? Is it Netanyahu or Netanyahu? Or Netanyahu? Or, I mean, what is it? I don't know. Anyway, bye.
So Netanyahu.
Let's work backwards. It's Netanyahu.
Benjamin Netanyahu. N-E-T.
Sometimes his friends call him BB.
BB.
As far as the marijuana killing brain cells, I don't know. Is the science settled? I've read enough that says that maybe kids, especially young,
that doesn't have anything to do with killing brain cells. So let's take it down to a different level. Smoking marijuana at a young age could affect a developing brain. Eyes.
Yeah.
It could affect a developing brain. That doesn't mean kill the brain cells. It just means it could maybe rewire it or affect it in a certain way.
Stunt your brain growth.
It has nothing to do with killing brain cells. Let's get that. Hold on. Let's get that out of the way. Doesn't kill your brain cells. New research has actually shown that marijuana or cannabis is neuroprotective, and it might be the future of Parkinson's and Alzheimer's cures. That marijuana protects brain cells.
Wait a second.
It's neuroprotective.
I would think, though, that there's enough doubt about the effects on the developing brain that you're probably better off not habitually smoking it.
Yeah, I'm not advocating that. I'm just saying 20s. That when we talk about killing, like marijuana does not kill any brain cells. It's not. It is not a poison.
It might protect brain cells.
It actually is. Yeah, it might be neuroprotective, and that, like they're showing good. We have Colton Morris. Colt says, I don't have the number to call, but I have information on the killing brain cells thing.
Does alcohol kill brain cells?
Yes. Now that does.
Well, let's talk about the thing that does kill brain cells that they advertise during the Super Bowl.
So people who drink pretty regularly or alcoholics, you'll notice the volume of their brain decreases over time.
Just a couple of things. Kyle Rittenhouse is a hero.
It's Cucker. Yeah,
Oh my God! Wow, he calls in real time.
He's listening to us real time.
No. Cucker, as much as he hates us and
He loves
thinks we
us.
should be whatever he thinks, he listens every day.
He's a P1.
But
do you want to hear what
but
Cucker has to say?
Do you agree, though? The Capitol Police are heroes for shooting Ashley
Oh yeah,
Babbitt.
play this call from Cucker. I just saw what he said.
Just a couple of things. Kyle Rittenhouse is a hero, and he's responsible for there being one less pedophile on the face of the earth. Good job, Kyle. Secondly, Nico, who is Ashley Bobbitt? Is that Lorena Bobbitt's sister? Oh, and one last thing. I want to congratulate Michael Cohen, because today he's going to be the proud owner of a brand new bunghole.
See, I can't even trust.
You knew who I was talking about. You knew I was talking about Ashley Babbitt, who was fatally shot during the riot insurrection.
Cucker is definitely the type of person who probably feels like Ashley Babbitt
Needed.
is a hero.
Is a hero and a martyr.
Right.
But by the way, I guess one of the guys that Kyle Rittenhouse shot and killed had a criminal record that included like a statutory rape.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know that at the time that he shot him. It wasn't like he went out there and said, "Oh, this guy, hurt a child."
Yeah, if we just shoot 10 random people in the street right now, you're probably one that deserved a little bit of it.
Yeah, if you randomly went around shooting it, if you shot enough people, you'd find somebody who actually deserved it.
Yeah.
That doesn't make him a hero.
That's not the way to get those people.
But thank you. If all of our listeners were as steadfast and loyal as Cucker Tarleson is,
right?
Well, I was going to say our ratings would be through the roof, but I just saw them. They're through the roof.
Hey,
they're already there.
Like by some metrics, we're the #1 morning show in the United States.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Ask Kevin; he'll show you. Here is Colt DeMorris. Hello, Colt.
Good morning, guys. How are you doing?
Doing good. Colt helped me out on Friday. I saw a bunch of weird lights moving across the sky. I didn't think they were a UFO or anything, but Colt sent me a video. Did you find that online, or did you shoot that yourself, Colt?
No, I found that online.
Yeah, that's exactly what I saw. What was that? The Starlink satellites?
Yeah, Starlink satellites, and they were passing over. There's a place online where you can see where they're at, and yeah, just about the time you saw them, they were passing over.
But you're calling about the marijuana and brain cells. So somebody...
Why don't you introduce Colt?
Colt is the director of NORML, which is the group to legalize
El Paso
marijuana.
NORML. Yeah.
El Paso NORML, and one of the main... I would say in the entire country, one of the main
cannabis
advocates. Cannabis advocates, sure. Is that fair enough for you, Colt?
Yeah, that's definitely fair enough. I appreciate that.
All right. So what do you know about this idea that marijuana kills brain cells?
Well, the idea came about in the 70s when Nixon had a study done, and the study was to see what the effects of marijuana smoke would do. And this wasn't known until a report came out called the Schaefer Report. But what it was is they took monkeys and they put masks on them and pumped marijuana smoke through the masks into the monkeys. And what it did is it suffocated the monkeys. And when you suffocate somebody, that there alone kills brain cells.
Yeah.
So that's where they were getting that information that marijuana killed brain cells. But what it really was the asphyxiation of the monkeys.
Well, yeah, when you suffocate to death, you're going to lose some brain cells.
Yeah, definitely. And then, like Nico was saying, about it being neuroprotective, The government has a patent that was filed in 2003, I believe, for cannabinoids as neuroprotectants. So there's an actual patent. I think the number is 6630508, if I'm not mistaken. And it's a patent on cannabinoids used as neuroprotectants. So it actually does the opposite of what they say. It doesn't kill brain cells. It actually boosts the making and protecting of brain cells.
That's what you were referring to, Nico?
Yeah, there's been several studies over the years. All
right. Thanks, Colt. Colt is a walking encyclopedia.
Yes.
Cannabis knowledge.
You're welcome. You guys have a great day.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks, Colt.
We always learn so much.
This is just a headline from an article from the Salk Institute. I'm trying to find it. All right. So the headline is Active Ingredient in Cannabis Protects Aging Brain Cells. Salk researchers find cannabinol preserves mitochondrial function and prevents oxidative damage to cells. So there you go.
Kristi Noem canceled her book tour because
You mean the dog murder?
Yeah, that's all anybody wanted to talk about. Even on what you would think would be Republican-friendly outlets like Fox News and Fox Business, she found that everybody was just asking her about killing her puppy. And also, why would you put that in a book? But she made some other claims that turned out to be false that she had to take out of the book. One of them was that she had met with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. Had you heard about that?
I had not heard about that.
Okay. She took this part out when it was pointed out to her that she never met Kim Jong-un, but you would wonder,
how did that get in there?
How are you confused about whether or not you met Kim Jong-un of North Korea?
I do remember hearing about this. Didn't she say that, that was a mistake from the editor somehow got in?
Okay, well, they confronted her about it.
Believe it or not, Shoot Eater Dog isn't the only scandal about Noem's book. There's also a story about when she met with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un, where she wrote, "I remember when I met with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un." Except she had to take that story out because she never actually met with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. And she says the story was put in there by accident. And she took it out as soon as she found out, even though she wrote the book and recorded the audiobook. And if you're wondering, didn't she find that out when she recorded the audiobook? You're not the only one.
You said when you learned of it, you immediately took action. Mm-hmm. You recorded the whole book, the audiobook. Mm-hmm. You read this whole passage out loud. Why didn't you take it out then when you read the audiobook?
I've traveled for years. I've been involved in policy for almost 30 years. And so I've gone all across the world. I've met with world leaders.
So you didn't realize when you recorded the audiobook?
When it was brought to my attention, and I asked the publisher if they would remove the name, and they did.
Okay, but you didn't answer my question. When you posted pictures and video of yourself recording the audiobook. When you recorded your own audiobook, you didn't notice
I'm
this
not going to
passage?
discuss about my meetings with world leaders.
I'm not asking you to. I'm asking about recording the audio.
Did you want to talk about something else today?
For God's sakes, can we talk about something else?
Anything.
I shot a dog once. Did you hear about that? Look.
She does seem like a slippery one, doesn't she?
She just bulldozes through.
Just pretend she didn't hear the question or...
I know we've been talking about this Kristi Noem story for a few days in a row now, but she lied about meeting Kim Jong-un and she shot a puppy. I honestly can't think of a political story that could be crazy enough to push that out of the news cycle.
In a new report, Robert Kennedy opens up about health issues from a, quote, worm that got into my brain and ate a portion of it and then died.
What? I don't know what's worse, that RFK Jr. had a worm that was eating his brain, or that his brain is so poisoned it killed the worm.
Hi, this is Robert Kennedy Jr. And if you're like me, you have dead worms inside your head. Well, luckily, there's Wormsedrin. Look, I had a worm in my head this big, and it gave me a headache this big. But thanks to Wormsedrin, my headache caused by the worm inside my head went away lickety-split.
I was getting super forgetful. My brain was foggy, and I kept losing my car keys and wallet. Turned out I had a worm living inside my head, just like RFK Jr. Well, thanks to Wormsedrin, I can get back to living my life.
And for the kids, try RFK's new Wormsedrin children's formula.
Timmy, why haven't you finished your homework?
I can't concentrate because there's a worm inside my head.
Here, try a Wormsedrin children's formula.
Ooh, chewable. And no more worms in my head. Thanks, RFK Jr.
You're welcome. So if you have a headache caused by a worm inside your head, get new Wormsedrin in stores now.
Hey, it's Daniel Paulus. I'll be along starting at 3 with everything from GNR to STP.
Tickets, warrants, expunged at UnderwoodTrialLawyers.com. Decades of experience available to you. Wyatt UnderwoodTrialLawyers.com.
I have something to say.
Be part of the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Call Buzz.
Text me his number.
Live studio line 915-910-4995.
See? That's communication.
Recorded neckline 844-805-NECK.
Wait, what?
That's 805-6324.
I'm ready, Buzz.
Now back to Buzz in the Morning Show on 95.5 KLAQ.
I've got random facts standing by, 3 random facts to be exact. And we'll get to those here in just a few moments. Here's a preview of Loudwire Nights. We have a special guest who is going to be on Loudwire Nights tonight, Serj Tankian of System of a Down. This is going to be a huge interview. And as a result, we're going to be playing at least one System of a Down song every hour, starting at 7, going to midnight. So a lot of System of a Down.
Yes, the tribe.
Serj Tankian is going to talk about everything from his new memoir to what System of a Down has planned next, what their immediate future holds. Also some Cult. The lead singer of the Cult, Ian Astbury, is having a birthday today. We're going to hear from the Cult on his birthday. Aerosmith is going to be thrown into the mix, and a whole lot more. Don't forget Mission Metallica at 10 o'clock. It's a block of Metallica that we run every weeknight at 10 o'clock. Loudwire Night, 7 to midnight on 95.5 KLAQ. You had a little bit of, I guess this is a sports story, kind of.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So I don't know who is really interested in the boxing match between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, but it is set to be a spectacle.
If I don't have to pay for it, if it's just on Netflix, I'm going to watch it.
It's going to be a spectacle.
I'm going to watch it.
And it counts on their professional record. This will be not just an exhibition match, I guess.
I don't know.
I'm just telling you, whoever loses, it's going to be a loss on their professional record. Well, they had the weigh-in this week. And there was a line for questions from audience members. And a particular question member on the younger side went up and asked quite an inappropriate question.
You showed me the video. He looks like he could be 10 or 11.
Yes.
Maybe he's one of these, like remember Andy Milonakis, who they used to send out to interview people, and everybody thought he was like a young kid, but he was actually like a 30-year-old guy.
Got peas on my head.
Yeah.
Don't call me a pea head.
Yeah,
Got
right.
Bruce Lee's on my head. Don't call me a Lee head.
Sure, you remember Andy Milonakis, but this actually looks like a 5th grader or 6th grader.
It does. He actually looks like the main character from Problem Child. He has like bright flaming red, orange hair.
Yeah.
All right, here it is.
Got a young boy right over here, so you're up first, my man.
Yo, I'm Kale Martin, and I'm a big fan of both of y'all. You guys are both legends, and I just want to,
Where's your mother at?
My mother? Who do you think's got a higher body count? What's your body count, Jake? What's your body count?
No. Where's this kid's mother?
Yo.
Jake, you think yours is higher? Tight, hey, we outside, go, boom, bitch.
Well done, little man.
I love you guys, but
Okay, all right.
I love you guys.
Well done. Holy smokes.
Wow, man.
Yes.
They did not answer the question.
Why does that sound like my nephew?
Did it really sound? Oh, whoops.
Now
Well, did it really sound like your nephew's?
I gotta see what this kid looks like.
Somebody put him up to it. It had to have been for a social media.
Y'all, what's your body count, y'all?
Right? Could this be a 20-year-old who looks like a 10-year-old?
No, that's a kid,
he
dude.
sounds like a kid.
Yeah, he's like his voice hasn't changed yet. It does have me thinking about the fight, though. People have been saying that Mike Tyson's body might not be up for it. That the training already for the fight has caused a toll on his body. He has sciatica. He's complaining that his sciatica. He has a quote even. He says, "I'm beautiful, but my body's not up to it."
Why is he doing it then? Probably because tiger food is so expensive.
But just a week ago, you would have somebody who had said like, "Man, Jake Paul is going to bury Mike Tyson." People would have laughed that person out of the room.
Oh, this kid is a little influencer.
He is?
I've seen him before, yeah. Because I told my nephew, I'm like, yo, this kid reminds me of you.
No wonder he sounded just like him.
Is he actually a kid?
Yes, he is. He just turned 14. He became viral from this one video where he's like saying what the slang is. And it was like from 2 years ago. And then they did a follow-up. And he's like, I just turned 14.
Hilarious.
Yeah, no, that kid's hilarious. It reminds me a lot of my nephew.
The reason it sounded so choppy is because they kept having to bleep him. The kid kept using the F word.
Yeah. You guys are effing legends.
Yeah, that kid is hilarious, actually.
So you're not interested in this fight at all?
Like I say, if it's on Netflix and I don't have to pay anything for it, I'll watch it just for the carnival atmosphere of the whole thing.
Man,
I don't know. I mean,
Jake Paul beats Mike Tyson.
Isn't just he's not doing it as. I mean, it's not all a joke.
No, he's a real boxer. You know, his record professionally is 9-1, and he has one tie with Tyson Fury's brother.
Tyson Fury's brother.
Yes. I think it was Tyson. Well, there's two Furies.
Okay.
The Fury.
I saw video of Tyson working out a couple of years ago on a heavy bag, and man, every time he would hit that thing, it would just echo. You could hear the sound. It was just like
Fists like concrete, right?
And I don't think, Nico, you can really appreciate
like his heyday in the 20s.
His heyday, he was knocking people out like within 20 seconds in the first round. Like he would just go over and just immediately knock somebody out to the point where people were like
scared.
Hey, if you keep knocking people out, people aren't going to pay to come see the fight because you're knocking them out too quick. And then there were a couple of things. He got beat by this, I forget who it was. This guy got famous for about a year because Buster Douglas beat Mike Tyson when it looked like nobody in the world could defeat Mike Tyson. And then not too long after that, he got convicted for the sexual assault against a Miss America contestant.
Douglas or James Lester Douglas or Mike Tyson?
Tyson.
Oh.
And went to prison. And when he came out of prison, he was never the same.
I don't know about this.
Did he bit off Evander Holyfield's ear?
Post-prison.
Evander Holyfield ear Tyson?
Yes. Yeah.
Hangover Tyson.
Okay. I didn't know him during that time or anything about any of the people he fought. Or any of the scandals
But
he
he
had.
was like 19, 20 years old. He was knocking people out so quickly that it would have been really hard to sell a pay-per-view
You got to
back
stop.
in the
You got to
day.
stop. You got to make it more interesting. Okay, what about this? If Jake Paul beats Mike Tyson, he will be considered a legitimate boxer.
No, Mike Tyson's 57 years old.
Yeah, I know. And Jake Paul's like in his 20s.
Jake Paul's 30 years younger than him. I don't know. Also, I think they're wearing heavier gloves.
Oh, yep, you're right.
I don't know if they're going to be wearing headgear or not, but Like I say, it's on Netflix. If I don't have to pay for it, I'll watch it just for the weirdness.
I can't believe you paid for that last fight with Canelo.
Yeah, seriously.
I just woke up that morning and said, I really want to see this Canelo
And you
fight.
said, I really want to pay $98 for this.
It was $89.
I feel generous today.
Whatever. Also, I sent you a video of the kid influencer.
In the
His
Skype.
name is KO. He's hilarious.
His name is KO.
KO.
You guys are effing legends.
KO, maybe?
He looks like a nightmare to be the parent of.
Can I play it?
Yes.
Or
Yes, you can. But he went viral from another video.
Turned 14 yesterday. I was 12 when we actually filmed that last one.
What does drip mean?
Like style. Yeah, like if you see me right now, you say a drippy, right?
Is drip still used these days?
Drip, yeah, drip is definitely used. Ice, like ice for your necklaces. You heard that? Ice?
No.
But we all say what's good, buzzing?
Buzzing.
Yeah, buzzing. What's good, buzzing? And what?
I need to save
buzzin'?
that. I need to save that clip.
Yeah.
What's good, buzzing?
What's good, mud?
Mud?
Yeah, mud, yeah.
Not blood, it's
like,
mud now.
No, mud. Like, what's good, mud?
If you want to call somebody cool, what would you say? Like,
Probably like mad lit on God or something. I don't say on God anymore.
why?
Because I'm a man of Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ is God.
I am telling
kid
you,
is
right
freaking
there,
hilarious.
That is my nephew, Sean, right there.
Your nephew sounds hilarious.
He is hilarious, actually.
Is he named after a nut?
Oh, what?
A nut.
Who?
Well, you got your nephew
You got Peanut.
Oh,
And then
no.
his brother-
Peanut
his
is the
brother
only
Cashew.
one.
I was
No,
thinking
Peanut is a legume, actually, all right? He's a bean.
Well, have we met your other nephew, Macadamia, or whatever you said his name was?
Hey, why is my picture gone?
Why is what picture gone?
On the website.
Hey, yeah, I've noticed that. I thought you changed it or something.
No.
It's just white because you're white.
It's a top of my head.
It's an extreme close-up of the top of
Yeah.
Nico's head.
See,
There's nothing there.
I had to say it before you got there. I knew the low-hanging fruit you go for.
Aw, guys.
You want to talk about your downwinders?
That's pretty heavy stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
What's downwinders?
So downwinders were the very first human victims of an atomic weapon.
Right.
And it happened here in New Mexico. So if you saw Oppenheimer in theaters, or if you saw Oppenheimer at all, that first test they did where they weren't really sure what was going to happen.
The
but all
Trinity site.
The Trinity site is Alamogordo.
Right.
And so they detonated the first atomic bomb.
Let's see what happens.
Right up there. The scientists knew that there was going to be some effect on the civilian population.
Like fallout.
Yes. So there were some people living in like around Tularosa and places like that.
Would you say they were downwind of the site?
I assume they were downwind. Some of them were as close as only 12 miles away. And the fallout area was 50 miles at least.
Wow.
And so a lot of people in what's called the Tularosa Basin or the Tularosa Valley. Yeah. Infant mortality quadrupled following that. They also did tests in Nevada. There are some people who are Nevada downwinders who have been getting paid compensation by the government since 1990.
They're getting reparations?
They're not called reparations. I don't know. It's
kind of.
Reparations doesn't refer exclusively to slavery.
I don't know.
They set up a fund for these people.
Yeah, compensation.
Right. People who developed cancer years later.
But did they do that for the New Mexico ones as well?
They did it for some people in Nevada, some in Utah, not for the New Mexico ones. The original downwinders have never seen a cent. But you can read the entire article. And then it gets into, do you know there was a John Wayne movie that was being shot in Utah when they were testing?
The Searchers?
No, it was...
The Conqueror.
The Conqueror, where he played Genghis Khan.
Yes. One of his worst accents and...
Okay, so his worst movie of his entire career was The Conqueror. I'm convinced there's no worse movie that John Wayne was in.
John, you'd be great as Genghis Khan.
I see this Tartar woman before me, and my blood tells her to make her mine. Pilgrim. It's recognized as one of the worst movies of the entire decade of the 1950s, but it was filmed in 1953, and they were doing atomic bomb testing. And out of the 200, it has the actual numbers in the article I wrote, but out of 200 some odd, 90 of them developed cancer and or died of cancer, including John Wayne.
That's how he died? Was probably from some of the exposure? Oh, wow.
In the course of my research, they said that, yes, definitely the exposure to nearby atom bomb testing was responsible for...
Sorry. Danny in our app chat is asking, is Nico downwind from Buzz right now?
Yeah, when are they going to set up a compensation fund for Buzz downwinders?
Joanna has a plexiglass protective zone. I'm full exposed.
She was in here a couple of weeks ago, though, so maybe she could qualify as a downwinder. I've got random facts for you today. Woo! Are you ready to hear them?
Yes.
And now it's time for 1, 2, 3 random facts.
This is educational portion of the program. We enjoy doing it for you. We really do our best to make sure that we got our facts straight and that everything is factual and random. So here we go with 3 random facts for you today. Random fact number 1. Most snails have both female and male genitalia. So they can quickly and easily mate with basically any other snail from the same species.
God, that would be so helpful.
Yeah.
You, get over here.
Yeah.
Hey, lady, it's Buddy. Hey, Buddy, get over here.
Well, buddy, get over here.
Well, when is Bud Light going to give snails their own beer can?
Oh, my God.
Now this is a random fact, but I think it could have some bearing here in the modern day. Is it legal for a president to serve more than one term, or is it not?
Well, I think did Ulysses S. Grant serve more than one? Or, I mean, Roosevelt definitely served more than
Roosevelt died in his fourth term. So 4 presidents tried to get nominated for a third time but failed. Ulysses S. Grant, Grover Cleveland, Theodore Roosevelt, and Woodrow Wilson all went for a third term but didn't get it. Then FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, actually got a third, and then he was elected to a 4th term.
What a guy.
The 22nd Amendment to the Constitution was established to cap presidents at 2 terms. So the way it is standing now, and who knows what this coming next few years could have for us, but supposedly you're done after you've had 2 terms. That's in the Constitution.
Okay.
All right. Random fact number 3. This is a good one. It's about the first white artist with a rap song on the Billboard R&B charts.
Vanilla Ice?
You'd think Vanilla Ice, maybe. Yeah. You know, that was a big hit. Was there anybody before him, though, that you can think of?
Before Vanilla Ice.
Prince?
Prince is not white.
Like half?
The first white artist with a rap song on the Billboard R&B charts was film legend Mel Brooks in 1982.
What was his rap?
It was a comedy rap called It's Good to Be the King, based on his movie History of the World Part 1.
Please tell me you have it.
I do. And so this song actually charted, making Mel Brooks the first white artist with a charting rap song on the Billboard R&B charts. Here is that very first rap song by a white artist from 1982.
People and listen to me. Gonna tell you how I made history. You can call me Louis, I'm the king of France.
out my story while you do your dance. Now it's 1789. The peasants were starving, but I was fine. We were hanging out down in Overside. That's the weekend pad of my queen and I. In the alleys of Paris, they was eating rats.
It is not bad.
For the aristocrats, there was dukes and counts and barons and earls. I gave them the titles, but I kept the girls. Blonde, redhead, wild brunette. Ladies in waiting, I didn't wait to get. There was truffles for breakfast, toss for brunch. The Lion of the Follies were here for lunch.
Are you doing the Cholo dance?
Yeah, that's how I dance.
The Cholo lean.
Elbows up side to side? Are you leaning like a Cholo? All right.
This is bop. Yeah.
It's a bop. Bars.
Those are your random facts for today.
Just some facts that I learned. It was a maze. Everyone should try to learn something new each day.
Artist interviews, new music discoveries, celebrating artists' birthdays, commemorating releases. Champion of all things rock.